the Neandertalk Podcast. We'll no topic is off limits. Now here's your host, my daddy, and Void of Soul. Thank you for coming to the Neandertalk Podcast. Boom, swat, boom.
In 3, 2, 1. Boom, shalak, boom. Welcome back, everybody. It is I, your host, Ryan West, the host of Neandertalk Podcast. And today is somebody who's on my mind a lot since I first had you on my podcast, which was about 2 years ago. And I always feel like it was very recently. That's how much you're on my mind. It's probably,
really?
Yeah, it's probably weird for you to have dudes thinking about you.
No,
but,
as long as it's like attached to something cool.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, this dude owes me money.
Cam F Awesome in the building.
Hey.
I wish I had a soundboard. I'd have people clapping. Yay!
We can picture it. Thank you for the applause.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah.
For those of you that didn't see or hear the first episode, will you kind of break down real quick, kind of, I don't know, how you explain yourself, or you want me to tell you what I tell people?
Oh yeah, actually, I want to go with what you tell people.
All right. I don't want to make this all about me. This is all about you, but
It's kind of about me.
it's all about you. All right. So I say, the reason why you're on my mind all the time is because I still can't believe how easily you got over what happened to you. Like your entire life, you had the goal of being an Olympic boxer. And I was an athlete. My whole life was soccer. That's all I wanted to do was soccer. And to have a dream like that, such a lofty, amazing goal that very few people on planet Earth get that kind of level of achievement, to be in the Olympics. I don't care if it's rowing, ping pong, boxing, wrestling, whatever. It's an amazing achievement that less than 1% of human beings that's ever lived have gotten to a level like that. And then my man Cam F Awesome gets that. He dedicates his life to it, figures the game out, the science, the sweet science of boxing, of not getting hit basically, and boxing kind of boring, but getting the job done efficiently. Like, I'm not getting a hit, but I'm getting some points. Anyways, the whole thing is awesome. And then you get there. The pinnacle of human beings. Go back to the Romans and the Greeks when they were doing their games. And you're there. You make it. And so what do? I'm going to go do some exhibition boxing match in like I don't know, Taiwan or where was it?
Azerbaijan.
What?
Azerbaijan.
What is that?
It's a country. It's over by Armenia.
Azerbaijan?
Yeah.
All right. So some country, I don't know.
I go to a lot of random countries. I guess every country is random.
It's true.
Yeah.
And so you go to this, and while you're there boxing, you have the USADA or whoever
USADA.
USADA, who's going to basically wants to drug test you for whatever. And you're out of country, and you can't make the P test in their allotted time, and they say, well, then you're failed. You just failed the drug test, buddy. But you're like, yo, I'm in Azerbaijan.
Yeah, I was.
Yo, I'm in Timbuktu, literally boxing, which I would assume you're probably
get drug tested to fight in.
Tested there, and you're probably doing it legally and naturally. But they're like, we don't care. That's not our country. We don't know what's going on. Shenanigans. You have to be here right now. And you weren't able to make that happen. And then they ripped everything from you. And then you're a super positive guy. That's how I explain things to people.
That's
who you are to me. In an elevator.
In between, that last part, and he's a really positive guy. A lot of heartbreak.
Right.
Maybe.
But you're doing it. You're still alive.
Yeah, I mean,
and you're positive. You are positive, and I'm sure it didn't happen overnight. Yeah, I got fucked. Whatever, no big deal. Here we go. What's their next tune?
Took a lot of intentional work to get to this point. But Yeah, it's like you don't really have a choice, right?
Right.
You could just move on. Like some people, it's so easy to see it in someone else. Like think about that person who just has that thing that they just won't let go. And you're like, oh, if you just let that thing go, you'll be so much happier with the rest of your life.
I'm that guy.
Let it go, bro. Let it go.
It takes a long time for me to let things go. Like I'll hold a grudge until I can get revenge on you. And then even then I still might hold a grudge for.
And that's natural.
I know. I hate it. I
Maybe not
hate that. I have been working on it, but it's easy to slip.
Oh, it's so easy to slip. Like I
live on a slip and slide.
Bro, I build my whole world. I live in my own little reality. Would you like me to explain my reality?
Please do. I was just telling people. Yeah, now you go. Take over.
Okay.
I've talked way too much.
So basically, everything he said summed up. Boxing went bye-bye. But I didn't get to go to the Olympics. Most people don't. Like, I was heartbroken, of course. But, like, you got to go move on with your life. Like, so this is how I deal with this is how I create my positive.
This was a long time ago now, by the way, right?
Yeah, this is 2000. Actually, 2020 was my last chance. I actually went to try out for the Trinidad team, got my dual citizenship, was going to fight, won their Olympic trials, and was training. And then the pandemic happened, so they didn't send a team, and I couldn't go.
Why can't you do it again now? In the next one, whenever that is, 2024?
I'm out the game. So the reason why I boxed was I wanted something very specific. Now I know what to call it. I call it athlete privilege. Remember in like school, athletes just got away with extra stuff because they were good.
Yeah.
They get
Gotten
special
away with
treatment.
Some shit.
Yeah, you're an athlete. There's things that that you dated outside of your league just because you're really good at a sport.
How dare you?
You had opportunities. In a real sense, though.
I got Riz, sir.
Yeah, I'm sure you have all the Riz in the world. But you've had, as an athlete, right? You got scholarships. You've had opportunities given to you that you didn't necessarily deserve, right?
No, I believe athletes earn those.
No. Okay.
And deserve them.
Yes, because you're really good at a sport.
Because you work hard. You're woken up. You can wake up and you have some athletic ability, but you have to show up to practice twice
It's the
a day.
discipline that comes with it.
Yeah, it's a lot that goes with just the talent. A lot of people can have.
I'm not discrediting the talent. But athletes get opportunities that other people don't get.
They earn.
Yes.
They earn opportunities.
They earn opportunities.
They earn them.
They earn opportunities. So I decided, like, I want to be an athlete. So
yeah,
I looked at it as if we go out for a job, it's a marketing job or something, and you have an associate's degree, and I have a national championship. It's going to lean in my favor.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure.
So when I talk about athlete privilege, that's what I kind of mean.
Yeah. You're only losing to a hot chick.
So in my mind, I was just going to win I wanted to go to the Olympics because that's like the biggest thing I could win. And I would use
for
that
your resume?
For my resume.
That's it.
That
was a big part of it.
That's why I won so many things. That was the whole plan.
Just for a resume?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not so much a resume. So in 2008, when I won my first championship, they give you a form to fill out, like height, weight, reach, hometown. And the last question was, what do you want out of boxing? And in 2008, my answer, and it's still up on the website, is to be a good role model and have my own TV show. I thought if I was a good enough athlete, they'd give me a TV show. Remember in 2008, everyone was having their own TV shows. That was my 17-year-old mind's goal.
Yeah.
So, and back then, things changed. TV shows aren't relevant. Basically, that was like I want to be an influencer when I was 17, but a good role model and my own TV show. And
you want to be famous?
No, I think I used to because I thought
that's what I'm saying. Then you wanted to be famous?
No,
is that part of it?
No, I just wanted to be on. Remember the show All That?
I don't know.
Bro, I wanted to be on.
That was a little.
It was
bit
a Nickelodeon.
It was after my. I was a little too old for that, but I know of it. Was that Keenan?
Yeah,
Good Burger or something? Is that on there?
It's in that realm. Yeah. It's that during that time. But when I was a kid, that's what I wanted to do. I didn't necessarily want to be famous. I wanted to be on those shows. And I didn't know how to do it. So I was like, oh, if I'm really good at a sport, I'll get my own TV show. And that's how, that was my plan. I didn't know what I wanted to do once I got all this. But I knew when I went to the Olympics, all the doors will open up for me.
You're an Olympian, an American Olympian.
Yeah. And I chose boxing because I understood it.
Yeah.
And
I wasn't throwing shade at you earlier when I said you just try not to get hit. You just,
that's the greatest compliment you could give me.
Right.
That was my only objective.
I think from maybe an outsider might hear me say that and be like, oh, this dude's throwing some shade at him. How dare it? But I said that respectively.
Oh, yeah. I took that as a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah.
Isn't that the whole idea, is not to get hit?
I mean, you're speaking very well.
Yeah.
How many boxers can speak as well as you are?
Here's the thing, though. The boxers who can't, they don't know how much they've declined.
They don't. They can't. They're not allowed to think like that.
Yeah, but the thing
it's
is,
a protective mechanism in their brain that won't let them accept that.
Same here. I'm like, I wonder.
Oh no! I will no. Come on, you just wrote. You wrote a book. Bring that up real quick. You wrote a book, "Becoming Awesome: How to Make Success Inevitable," by Cam F Awesome, capital F, by the way. Lessons of resilience from 12-time national champion. So thank you for the book. Let me see. How many pages is it?
You're a man like myself. How much of a commitment is this going to be?
142. It looks easy to read.
It's easy read. It's got QR codes in there. It's a little interactive. But the whole idea is
what's this book about?
It's becoming awesome. It's how to be awesome. So I don't think
it's just about becoming awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
That's basically.
You're pretty awesome, Cam, Mr. Awesome.
On my awesome days, I am. No one's perfect.
Charles, stop taking camera and take some whiskey. No? All right.
Well, when you put me on blast like that, let me get a little bit.
Put him on blast. Don't spill it. What do you think of that decanter? Isn't that nice?
I do like this.
Got my last name on it.
Yeah,
y'all fancy.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. Sorry, we were derailing. We're pouring drinks over here. We're having a
I'm
good
just
time.
happy to be here.
All right, Mr. Awesome, tell me about the book again. Sorry.
The book, how to be
Becoming Awesome.
Becoming Awesome, How to Make Success Inevitable. It's my book, right? I think I'm awesome, but I don't think I'm special.
Really?
Yes.
Shit. Anyway, all right.
I think everything is just mental, and it's like your mindset.
Right.
So in the book, I explain the equation to become successful in anything is 1 + 2 = 3. In this equation, you are 1. You should always be your own number 1. You should always be your biggest fan. You should always believe in yourself. No one's going to believe in yourself until you believe in yourself. 1 + 2 = 3. 3 in this equation is the goal, the objective, the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you want. 1 + 2 = 3. 2 is the hard work. And it's called number 2 because it's the shitty part of the job. It's the part that you want to do. It's the waking up early. It's the grind. It's the discipline. But as an athlete, you understand what that is.
Mm-hmm.
And so 1 + 2 = 3. I figured out this equation when I was a teenager, and that's what kind of got me into boxing. I figured out how calories work. And I wanted to lose weight. And in class, we learned how calories work. You consume about 2,000 calories a day. You burn about 2,000 calories a day. You maintain. And the way you lose weight is you burn more calories than you consume.
Mm-hmm.
So my goal.
If you get fat, you consume more calories than you
gain.
Burn.
Yeah, then you burn. Mm-hmm. That's when you strip down every diet. It's just different variations of burning more calories than you consume. So in this equation, 1, me burning more calories than I consume equals losing weight. And I just decided that's how my brain works.
You had to lose weight? Were you fat?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And now I think about it, I was like, not crazy fat, but I was like not secure with who I was.
You was chubby.
I was a little chubby.
Yeah.
A little
Chunky?
chubby. A little chunky.
Okay.
But I figured I just did that equation with everything in life. And the whole idea of the book is if you can fail without being discouraged, success is inevitable.
If you can fail without being discouraged?
Yeah. Because think about it. Anytime you've ever quit something, it wasn't.
I mean, failure is going to naturally discourage you.
No, I disagree with that.
All right.
You don't. You don't quit when you fail. You quit when you get discouraged. And a lot of people don't start because they're discouraged.
You know what? I think you might be right. Yeah. Discouragement is a motherfucker.
It's a feeling.
Yeah.
I think we need to learn to separate ourselves from our feelings.
Okay, why?
Because goals don't care about your feelings. If you say like that equation, 1 + 2 = 3.
Where do the feelings come from that want to make you accomplish these goals? Isn't that a feeling isn't that a delayed feeling you're hoping to get to? And isn't that why you're doing it?
What do you mean?
So I want to be in the Olympics, and it's my goal because if I do get that, I'm going to be ecstatically happy. It's going to be the biggest ultimate high. Like, holy shit, I did it. Is that why you're doing something?
No, that's never why you should do something, because that's fleeting. You might not want to wake up every day and feel that same thing. So it's not that's not something.
But if you have a goal of like something like a big goal, isn't it like what's the reason for having that goal? Isn't it to feel like you've accomplished it?
Oh yeah.
And like, I did it.
Yeah.
That's the feeling. Like,
that is the feeling.
Like winning.
Oh, that's a great feeling. And you have to sacrifice other feelings to get to that feeling.
Yeah. Okay. So the ultimate feeling is winning.
I'm trying to work on that not being it, but yes, that's winning.
That's what it is.
It's a great feeling.
But it's not the strongest feeling. I think the strongest feeling is losing.
Yeah.
I think losing hurts so much more than winning feels good.
Bro, I was in the airport and this dude approached me and we're talking and I'm halfway through the conversation. I can't ask who he is at this point. And he looks at me, he's like, "You don't remember me, do you?"
Uh-huh.
And that's always awkward. And turns out I had fought this man twice.
Oh, wow.
Twice.
Wow. Dude, that is such an intimate thing to fight somebody and you didn't remember him.
But here's the thing. I fought so much. I don't care about the wins. I can tell you all 39 of my losses. Those are the things I obsess over. So like, yeah, losing is the worst. The wins, I'll win and I didn't even think twice about that. But when I lose, it's like I sit in it.
Yeah.
And like I work really hard to avoid that feeling.
It's the worst fucking feeling.
So avoid it. And like here's the opportunities where you can
So why
avoid
not
that.
just so then is the ultimate goal in life is to be just successful enough that you don't fail, but not work so hard that you have to win?
No.
How about that for a philosophy of mediocrity?
Yeah.
Welcome to Neandertalk Podcast, the most mediocre podcast there is. I'm not the worst podcast, but I'm not the best, but I'm fine being in the middle because being the worst would hurt the most.
I agree, man.
Clip it.
Resume's still better than a lot of people's rock.
Yeah, there's people that started a podcast 5 years ago that aren't still at it today.
Bro, consistency, man.
Facts.
Consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Are you much of a reader?
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? I love to read. And I was going to ask you about this book. I grew up reading. I instill it on my children. I make my kids read 20 minutes every single day. I have also started becoming a audiobook listener. Is this going to be available on audiobook or is it?
It will eventually be.
What do you need to do for that to happen?
What do I need to do for it to happen? I need to like reach out to a studio. I need to do all that and get that done.
Here's a studio. You're sitting in a studio right now.
I am sitting in the studio.
I'm cheap. I'm real cheap.
Here's something. Everyone's like, "Hey, write a book. Hey, I wrote a book. I don't know what you do with a book.
Mm-hmm.
Now I just got a book. it's weird having a book. And then also you can't take back your thoughts. Because like, I like the fact that I evolve and I grow as a person.
Listen, I have 200 and something plus episodes. I have a lot of thoughts out there have grown, and you look back at some of like, ooh,
yeah,
that's all right. It's out there for me to learn from.
Yeah, that
yucky
like,
feeling
that's
is
me.
good.
Yeah,
yeah. So you got your thoughts on 150 pages there.
Yeah.
So yeah, audiobook. Will you be doing that?
Yeah, I'll have to do an audiobook. A few people have asked
so
for it.
You've gone the independent route.
Yeah. So I even talk about that in the book. I am so big on being independent and doing everything for yourself, even if it takes you longer to be successful. I'm such a fan of that. It's like if you believe in yourself, bet on yourself. Now, not everyone's in that position,
right?
But if you are, just take the longer route. Like, do things your way. Have complete creatorship, like ownership of everything you create, and learn from your mistakes. And don't I just see so many people take the bag up front, and then So I'm betting on myself. I always do that.
I like that. Well, anytime you need a studio, like just come on in and record it. Like it won't take that long to do.
Really? I don't know how it works.
I mean, just read it how you want it read. You wrote the thing. You know how it sounds in your head.
I listened to my first audiobook.
I loved watching TV as a kid. I loved any show that would make me laugh. I loved Saturday Night Nickelodeon, and I dreamed of being on that orange couch with Kenan Thompson and Amanda
Bynes.
Son. That's what you do. You come in and read it how you want to.
Yeah. Even you reading out loud in front of me, that made me feel weird.
I would actually do a lot better if I had my glasses on me. I could barely read that shit. Let me tell you something. How old are you?
35.
Oh, my God. A child.
I believe age is a construct. I don't believe the 35.
If I could be 35 again. Oh.
I'm a child.
Oh, my God. To be 35. Anyways, let me tell you something. I love 35. You still don't feel young. I'm 44. My eyes are going fucking haywire. I had 2015 vision for as long as I can remember. Now it's like I need to put a flashlight on this shit. I need to I got to put reading glasses on that blow it up. Oh my God, don't get old, you guys. If you do, have technology involved somehow.
I don't, and no need to explain it, but I never understood 20/20 vision, 25. I'm like, couldn't you just number it in a more...
Oh, it's super simple. So 20/20 means if you see something at 20 feet, that's how it should look at 20 feet.
That doesn't make sense.
If you're 20 feet away from
the door,
how about Becoming Awesome, the title of your book here. If you could see that from 20 feet away, and that's how good it would look for most people at 20 feet away.
But
some people, so here's what I had, Cam. I had 20/15. So go 15 feet away from that, and something at 20 feet looked like it was only 15 feet for me. So it looked even closer. My eyes were so good, something at 20 feet looked like I was only 15 feet away. Because I had really good eyes. Now I'm at fucking 20/50. Something at 20 yards looks like it's 50 yards away. I can barely fucking see it. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but it's still I feel like it's like Fahrenheit. It's not acceptable. And also it's a very subjective. This is what I think it should look like. Like
the average person.
Also, how do you know
the average reason? So when they take the eye test, the A, C, D, F, E, when you take the eye test, everybody should see the A perfectly clearly at 20 feet away. But if your eyes are so bad, you have to get 5 feet away to see that A. You're 25 vision. So that means at 20 feet, most people can see the A at 20 feet, but your eyes suck so bad you can only see it at 5 feet. But I don't know how.
And your vision was so good, it was closer than 20.
So I could see
that
shit.
To me is silly.
So I could see a smaller A.
I understand what it means.
At 20 feet than you could. or not someone that was 20/20.
Yeah.
Like someone from 20 yards away couldn't see that smaller A, but I could.
Yeah.
At 20 feet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And maybe because it's hard to judge vision, but I just think
it's not hard to judge vision. All right. This is such bad podcasting, but who cares?
You could edit
if
all
I
this
take
out.
an A, the letter A, and here it is. It's 3 inches tall, and at 20 feet you can see it.
I understand it, bro. I 100% understand.
But when I shrink it, so make it 3-inch A, make it a 1. Can you see the 1-inch A from 20 feet away? No, you can't. But I can.
I'm proud of you, man.
Because that's what 2015 is.
I started this off by saying you don't need to explain it. Like I get it.
I know, but I wanted to explain it. I'm like, this is interesting.
People love explaining it, but I'm telling you,
because I think it's cool.
Yeah.
To me, it's cool.
I think that's where it is cool though.
I love finding the answers to things. I love Google. Hey Siri, give me the answer on this or that. I want answers on things, and I want to know why.
I have this thing where I don't admit that I don't know something. So I don't even check with Google. If you ask me something, I will confidently give you an answer.
Oh, no.
I've been working on it.
Dunning-Kruger. Don't fucking do that. You get a lot of people into trouble. You don't have kids. So that might maybe be a
All
reason
my
why
friends
you still
know
do that. But if my kids ask me something and I don't know it, I'm like, I have no idea, dude. Let's figure that out together. And then we learn about how we can figure out how we can learn that.
You probably learn so much stuff.
Yeah. I do. I like to learn, though. I like not knowing shit.
What kind of books do you read?
A lot of nonfiction and science fiction. I love a good science fiction book. I grew up reading everything that Michael Crichton's ever written. I've read a lot of books. My grandpa was a playwright. My grandpa loved I never saw my grandpa never have a book, never not have a book. He was always reading something.
He stay strapped.
And he would always give me, for my birthday, for St. Patrick's Day, for Valentine's Day, for Christmas, he would always send me a book or give me a book, and he'd write a little inscription in it and sign his name. And whatever I got one over here. Anyways, so reading is part of my culture.
I like that.
And so knowing that, if I can recommend one book to anybody to start reading, it's a series of books, but the first book is called Red Rising by Pierce Brown. Fucking phenomenal. It's a science fiction book, and there's many books, and he's still writing books in the series today. There's at least 6 or 7 books in the series, and everyone is so good. Think Game of Thrones meets Hunger Games. It's fucking good. And it's science fiction-y.
I never got into the science fiction.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can do it because I can suspend just enough disbelief to think that this could easily happen in the future.
I see people who are into it, and I want to get into it, but
I'm not a Star Wars guy. Don't paint me in that block.
I've never seen a Star Wars movie.
You're not missing much. He ain't missing much.
I'm gonna wait till they finish the series, and then I'll start.
They're finished with the movies. Yeah, that's what I did. Charles, I never watched them either until all 6 of them came out. So when the first ones came out, was it the 70s or 80s?
That was in the 80s.
80s, it came out episode 4, 5, and 6.
Yep.
And then in the early 2000s, it came 1, 2, and 3. I waited for all those to come out, and then I rented and watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in succession on how it was supposed to go. And it was cool.
I plan on watching it.
You can do it now.
1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is there.
All on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Oh, they're on Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got Disney. You want to come hang out with me sometime? we can even probably do a podcast about it.
Or
we could
stream
it's
of it.
I know a lot of the references.
They're very
I know a lot of the references of
litigious.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see people who are super into Star Wars and they dress up and stuff, and I was never that person. I never found anything that I love that much, and I'm just.
Do people tell you could be a Jar Jar Binks?
I don't know.
You don't know what it is because you never seen it.
But look at his hair.
Yeah, but you just wouldn't know because you never seen it.
I don't get that reference.
I get that, though. I do get that
Wow.
reference.
Charles gets it. Everybody listening to this gets it. Google it when you get home later.
Maybe not everybody watched Star Wars.
No, everybody's watched Star Wars.
This guy.
Everybody's watched it. We could do that. You could come over. We could watch one episode and podcast about it. We could do like a Star Wars.
Didn't you start this by making fun of Star Wars people?
Yeah. Kind of, but not really. I don't make fun of them. It's just not my thing. Sorry, we got derailed, didn't we?
I'd like to get into it.
All right, so we've gone. So the audiobook, we're gonna try and get you to do.
Oh yeah.
I know I saw you recently. I didn't say hi to you.
Ouch. Did I not?
No, I was at a comedy show at Barrel of the Bottoms. And I was sitting in the crowd and you were sitting up with like the comics and stuff kind of separately. And I was like, oh, that's Cam F Awesome. I wonder if he remembers me. I bet he doesn't. Like, if he walks by or something, I'll say hi. But that never, and I didn't take a point to go up there and introduce. I don't know. Sometimes I get a little social anxiety. I was like, I guess maybe that failure thing. I don't want to go up there and be like, he doesn't remember
foolish.
me.
But
Not,
would you?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And I'm terrible with, that's one of my things.
Would you have remembered me?
I would talk to you enough to try to piece it together, but no, not off the bat. And I'm terrible with faces. And my thing is, I never like making anyone feel like that.
That's all right. I don't take it personal.
I know, but still, it's like weird to me, and I try.
Well, it happens to me too. I've had people on this podcast. I had somebody just recently come up to me and was like, they were on my podcast. I didn't know or recognize them at first, and it took me a minute after they were talking. It's like, yeah, oh yeah, of course I remember you. Oh yeah, I remember. Blah blah blah. How is it going? How is this or that? I can remember the parts of the conversation I had with some people. It's crazy, yeah. When you have this many, yeah, when you see as many people,
yeah. But the thing is, like, I never want anyone to think like, "Ooh, Cam thinks." So, like, I make a genuine effort to like remember names, but then I'm like in a city for like once a year for like 3 weeks, and I run into the same people, and like, you don't remember me from last year, and so I try to be good with that, but I miss the pandemic where everybody's name was at the bottom left.
Yeah, what's that mean?
I could confidently remember people's names. I'm terrible with names.
Okay.
Yeah. I just did I spoke at an event today, and like there's so many people that I saw, and I was grateful that everyone had name tags. Because they're people that I know and I should remember their names, but it's been like 4 or 5 years. And
what if we did that? What if as a society, hear me out, you guys. What if don't be falling asleep on me, Charles. This is season 4. This is your first episode in season 4. If I look over and you passed out from the whiskey and extracurriculars, you're not invited back for any more episodes on season 4. You keep your ass awake over there, all right?
Cheers to staying up.
Cheers to staying up. This guy has been known to pass out. I'll look over and he'll be. I'm like, who's switching the camera? What angle are we on? Fuck, I forgot my train of thought. I was going down a good road.
No, you was talking about.
Damn.
You was talking about me.
Damn.
yeah.
Seeing people.
Seeing people, recognizing people, the fact that you had name tags.
Oh, okay. As a society, wouldn't this be cool? Is if you were someone that goes out often in the town or city, you just put that sticker on your left chest, shoulder area that says, hello, my name is. And you can put on there Cam F Awesome. You know, maybe I would put Neandertalk
on there. QR codes.
And like, no matter what, you just always have that. Like, what if as a society we just started doing that?
Someone listening is like, this is the new world order. We're walking around with tags on us.
But they're
microchips.
But no. It's just a piece of stick. It's just
That's how
a sticker.
it starts.
That's how it starts. But I like it.
Yeah, I'll get you comfortable with that.
I would love that. Oh shit! What's up, Jamie? What's up, Jessica? Brooke, how you doing? Charles in the house. And after a while, you'd be like, "Oh shit, you were here last week. I remember you, Charles. I don't even need your name tag now. I just remember."
Yeah.
But I think that'd be kind of cool. Maybe bring us closer together.
Nah, I don't want everybody to know my name.
Why? You wanted to have your own TV show. You don't want everybody to know your name.
Yeah, that's when I
want everybody to know my name.
That's when I was a kid. Now I realize, you can be successful and no one knows who you are. Because only all the successful people I saw were famous, and I thought that's what I needed to be. And I was like, oh, I have no interest in being. I don't really want people. I'm not hiding from people, but I'm cool just being not known.
I would love to be famous, Cam.
When I was a kid, yeah, but it doesn't seem that appealing.
I think it'd be cool.
Like, would you rather be rich and unknown or famous and middle class?
Rich and unknown. How rich?
Upper middle class.
Or rich and middle class?
No, upper class.
Upper class?
Elite.
What does that mean?
I guess.
What does that mean? Do I have a private plane? Do I have a PJ?
Actually, yes.
Okay. All right, here's the thing, though. If I'm so rich I got a private jet,
Yeah.
then I'm going to try and get famous. Like, I don't know.
Do you know how many people have private jets that aren't famous?
Because they don't want to be. But I'll be like, yo, check this out. This is so fun. Like, I don't know. I know it's not, I've had just enough to drink, and it's season 4, and I'm feeling loosey-goosey, having a good time.
I like it.
Cam F Awesome. I would love to be famous.
Why?
I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun to go to a bar. You're like, oh shit, that's Ryan West. Did you hear who he just had Cam F Awesome this week? Did you hear that fucking episode?
Bro.
Let's go buy him a drink. Let's hang out with him. Let's take selfies with him.
So,
and I'm like, yo, come on, let's do it. You ain't buying me drinks. I'm buying you guys drinks. And I buy them drinks. And we're having a good time.
It's like, I'm rich.
Right. Yeah. I want to have fun. I don't know.
So here's this. I wear AirPods and I'm not listening to anything. Why? And sometimes when I have them, because I just don't want to talk to people.
I do that at work.
And I'll hear like, oh, that's the boxer guy or whatever. And it makes me uncomfortable. I'm like, I would much rather you've not known. So to be even called out for it, or sometimes like, yeah, that doesn't.
Called out for what?
No,
I'm the boxer that compared himself to Taylor Swift. You were trying. Well, that was probably when you were trying to get famous.
Yeah, and then I figured out, no, you can do well for yourself and be off the radar.
Okay. Well, no, I understand that too. Yeah. But I understand that there's different personality types that like certain that want.
But also, I changed my last name to Awesome, so yeah, I'm not running from attention.
No, well, that's kind of my point.
Yeah,
like you're slightly hypocritical,
a little bit.
But but maybe like once you get to that part, maybe you're like, oh, it's not as cool.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it'd be cool. Like sometimes I do go.
I see the benefits of it.
Sometimes I do go to places and I do get recognized, or my voice gets recognized.
How does it make you feel?
I love it.
Really?
But I'm humble enough to be like, oh, you probably just know me from Instagram, or you're not really a fan. You don't really listen. Like I have that negative part, but it is like, oh, cool. It's cool. I like to be like, oh, what's up? Because I'm an introvert, but if you come up and talk to me, like I'm down and I will talk to you, and I like that shit. Like I like to talk. I like conversation. And so if you don't know me, but you recognize me from the podcast or whatever, and it feels good to me. Yeah, I don't know. Also, I had my biological father left me and abandoned me, so I'm sure.
Sure, has something to do with it.
I'm sure there's like some kind of imprint on me that like kind of seeks that or like enjoys that.
Yeah,
and I'm not too big of a man to,
acknowledge
it. Yeah, and want it.
You know, suppress that shit, bro. Suppress it, bottle it, push it down, and you know what? You're not hurting anybody. You're earning your attention.
Yeah, you
can earn attention. I think attention's a currency.
Yeah, I think so too.
And people pay it. You can earn attention. You're doing a podcast. You're how many years in? Consistently?
5-ish. 5.
So yeah, when people see you, you deserve. That's the recognition you get for putting the work in. And I think when you started you asked like how I was able to barely go to the Olympics and not end up going and be okay with it, because I never identified myself as a boxer. Like I never thought of myself as a boxer. I think it's so cool that like there are fighters right now that I know personally that are like fighting on TV, and I'm like, oh, he was my roommate back in the day, and like I think it's cool that those people know who I like, but I never saw myself as one of those.
That's crazy because you were.
Yeah. I just never saw myself as a boxer.
How about now? Do you look at yourself now like, holy shit? Like
now I look back at like, I'm like, who was that? Who was that? I look at like my old fights, like I'm getting there with a dude like twice my size, and like in my mind I was sure I was going to win all the time. And
yeah,
looking back at it, I'm like, I'm on edge. I know what's going to happen in the video, but I'm still like scared for me.
That makes sense.
It's like a whole different person.
Can you coach boxing, or were you those that do and those that can't teach?
Or
can
if I'm a coach,
could you teach me how to like box for a match? If I were to challenge somebody, could you give me like a 6-week camp to like handle myself enough in the ring to beat somebody?
Or what about 8?
8 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks,
whatever the time is. If
what do I need?
I can, I would train you to be a fighter, not to be a boxer. Like the mental part of it.
Okay.
Because that's how I won all my fights. It had nothing to do with being a boxer. I was fundamentally unsound.
Sure, but you got to know how to hit a guy and block a punch.
Yeah, that's secondary. Because eventually,
look, I've got the mind right.
That's
all right,
that's what everybody thinks.
I've got the heart of a lion.
You don't want a heart of a lion. No. That's how people get hurt. That's why I never got hit. Those tough guys, I throw that out the window.
I got the heart of a Ricky Tikki Tavi. What is that guy? You know,
Bro.
Ricky Tikki Tavi, the mongoose.
Just
I don't get hit by the snake. I just dodge him and go, bah! Get him. Bah! Ricky Tikki Tavi, the mongoose. He gets some cobra snakes. Bah! Did you see the head movement, Cam?
I'm impressed with the head movement.
You saw it. You didn't see that coming. Watch this on YouTube, gentlemen and ladies. Buy me a beer when you see me. Say what's up. I caught you off guard. I caught you flat-footed.
Caught me flat. Yeah, man.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Favorite boxing movie?
I usually I don't like boxing movies, but the one with
you don't
Southpaw.
like boxing?
Yeah,
Southpaw Jake Gyllenhaal is a
yeah,
great fucking movie.
that was yeah, and Creed. But it's just I'm biased because I just love Michael B. Jordan, so I don't even know that my opinion doesn't even count on that.
Yeah, it does.
Yes, it does, because Creed 3 was the best.
Yeah, but here
I'm a Rocky 2 guy.
I like Rocky 2.
I'm not a fan of the Rocky movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why not? Too slow?
No, it's a bad.
That's because the opposite of how you boxed. He was just in there getting whipped.
It's a bad image of what a fighter is supposed to be, and that's why people have this idea that fighters are supposed to be stupid. Is because he had like a mental deficiency, and they're still letting this man fight, and no sports commission's gonna step in, but whatever. And it's like he was like a Digimon. The more he got hit, the stronger he got, and it's like that's not how fighting works. And you get so many people who get in there like, I got the heart of a lion. I'm like, no, that's not real.
He called me out. He called me out.
And for me, it's just like I just took common sense and I took intelligence to fighting.
I love that. The sweet science, right?
I'm not even that athletic.
Get out of here. That's the humility of you.
No, trust me, I'm not anything humble. I'm Mr. Awesome. But like I went to the judges and I interviewed the judges and asked them, what are you looking for in a fight?
Okay.
And I understood what they're looking for and priorities of what they're looking for.
What did these judges tend to look like?
Like, what do you mean?
When
Like,
you were
what they're-
interviewing
what-
these judges, what did they physically look like?
Oh, all different shapes, sizes, age. You got judges who are like 18. You got judges who are in like 70s. All different races.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I have no idea.
Oh, and
I'm
these
very
are
unfamiliar with.
and these are all volunteers, and they're great people. Most of them,
and
people.
are they fans of the game? Like, what makes a judge become a boxing judge?
They're usually like a coach around here, and then they get involved in the sport.
Okay.
And starts judging and reffing on the local levels.
Okay.
And if you judge on the local levels,
And so you go up to these judges, and what are you looking for?
I asked them, hey, when you're judging a fight, what are you looking for between the two fighters? Because boxing's a subjective sport.
Right.
And
Wow.
here's the things that they were looking for.
Wow.
They go for the boxer who looks least tired.
Okay, that makes sense.
So to me, and in my fights, no matter how tired I look, my chest in the air, I look like I'm having a good time.
Yep. Always got
And smiling.
Good posture.
I look
wow.
comfortable. And that was a part of the game. Second thing, they liked clear shots. They don't care how hard it lands, but if it snaps someone's head. That was the number one thing they would say. So the only two punches I really threw were jabs that would snap your head back and an uppercut that would snap your head up, because they're looking just to see head snap. Like, I never had to punch hard. Those were little pop shots.
That's not hard to do.
No. And the hard shots are like putting your muscle in them.
Your hips and your muscle and shoulders.
That's when
just
people get
whap!
tired.
That's why everybody start with.
I'm gonna knock your ass on the fucking canvas.
Yeah, and so that's the approach I took to fighting. And granted, I will say I was in a very easy weight class. Like, when you think about it in America,
What was your weight class?
heavyweight.
That's easy if you're fast.
No, it's easy in
Right.
boxing because it's less competitive.
Because there's not as many big people.
The big people are in the NBA and the NFL.
Right.
All of those athletic beasts, like LeBron. If LeBron James had gloves on since he was 8, do you think anybody would be fighting that man? Like, he would be. We're lucky, like LeBron James. If
That's so fun. I've always said the same thing as a soccer guy, being like the best athletes in America aren't playing soccer. That's why we don't get the World Cup.
Yeah.
Could you imagine an 11 squad full of LeBron James out there just doing headers all fucking day against these fucking who's the best guy? Messi. Lionel Messi's like 5'6". Get out of here with our 6'9" dude just heading it the whole way like it's.
Oh, also, I'm not trying to shit on the heavyweights, but it's just less of a competitive weight class than, let's say, a 152-pound weight class.
That's where the athletes are.
That's where the high competition.
Right.
Sometimes I would go to tournaments and the weight class wouldn't be full. So let's say there's only like 24 people in this weight class, but the 152-pounders, there's like 40 people in their weight class.
Right.
So I was just in a easier weight class to be able to pull off what I did. But I don't think I'm necessarily special. I just kept doing it. I don't have the greatest winning percentage. I had 39 losses, but I got over 400 fights.
You've never been knocked out, though, right?
Never been knocked out.
But how many people did you knock out?
Probably like knocked out like unconscious.
Yeah.
Probably like 4 or 5.
Really?
Not many compared to how many fights I have. That's like nothing.
What about like officiating? Literally saying.
So it's all TKOs.
Oh yeah, TKO. So what I would do is I would punch someone. So I would run from you until you're too tired to defend yourself, and I would just punch you with light punches until you can't defend yourself. And the ref will come in and
my neck keeps getting thrown back because I'm so tired, and it's only the third round.
The ref will give you an 8 count, and because you can't defend yourself, the ref will come in and it'll be like almost like you got dropped. And then if I get 3 of those in a round, I win. That's a
I
disqualification.
love it. I love gaming a system like that. I do. I really appreciate the hell out of that. Just like it's kind of like the lawyer in me. Like just kind of it's kind of gaming it. Like I'm playing by the rules. Like I know it's not how.
Yeah. Oh, here's another thing.
Most people would play this game, but I'm going a little bit of a different way, and I'm like gonna beat you with fucking.
My bad.
Oh.
Was the game like that? Like the rules and stuff like that when Mayweather was fighting?
So in the amateurs, they have a different. The Olympic level, they have a different judging system. But it's both subjective.
Right.
It's who hits who. When I first got into boxing,
That's when
it was
you
points.
leave that, and that's why there's people that say don't leave it to the judges.
Yeah, but you know how hard it is to knock out. knock a person out that's expecting it. Like,
I don't know.
And especially I was a smaller heavyweight, so it was like I'm fighting these really big dudes. You got 60 pounds of me. I'm not knocking you out, but I will run from you while you try to swing really hard. And once you're tired, I'll throw a bunch of punches until you can't defend yourself.
Do they hate that?
I'm so annoying.
You gotta be.
I'm so annoying. Here's
You're
another
like a little mosquito.
that was the
I
whole.
fucking was like, God damn it. I just caught malaria. I can't lose. I'm not, I just caught malaria. Like, he's just tagging me here and there.
So here's something I would do.
At 9 rounds or 12 rounds, I'm going to die of a slow death of malaria. Like, he ain't knocking me out, but he's going to annoy the fuck out of me.
If you're throwing a hook, I could counter your punch, but instead of countering your punch and trying to hit you back, I will duck under, grab your hips, and twist you around.
All right, listen.
Here's why. Let me finish.
Okay, yeah.
I will then pull you from behind and hump you. Not big and hard, but slow. I'll pull you in slowly, and you'll feel my cup on your butt. And here's why I would do that. Because
you can't do that.
The ref will separate us and warn you for turning your back to the action.
Jeez.
If I get you to do that 3 times in a round, that they deduct a point from you.
Is this, in your mind, dirty?
No, these are the rules.
I know it's the rules, but you're like playing it in a way that people don't really play it.
Who told them not to play it that way?
All right, but the culture. The culture is like, no, we're going to stand in a square and bang.
Then you don't have to. Like, here's the thing.
I know you don't have to.
I'm not athletic enough, or I can't compete with anyone on that level. So you figure out all the rules to the game, no matter what it is in life.
All right, I understand.
There's a way to get around it.
I do. Trust me, that's the lane I drive in. All right, I love that fucking lane. But is there a part of you like, fuck, I do wish I was in that lane. I know this is the right lane, but fuck, that lane is fun, and that's where the eyes are, and like let me get into that. My ego wants to be in that lane.
No, I have my own lane. I look at other people who do things, and I don't think like, oh, I think I'm doing what you're doing my own way. I won.
I know, but the culture and the numbers inside of that lane is that carpool lane is full over there, and you're in this like flying past the carpool lane, but that's where everybody you have no. That's where my ego is like, fuck, all right, motherfucker, because my ego is like, all right, motherfuckers, I can beat you this way, but I will show you that I can bang, and I'll come in that little square and I'll stow toe to toe with you and bang. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong.
Yeah,
Trust me, obviously it's wrong.
Here's what I would do.
But how do you get over? How did your ego get to that point where like, no, fuck that. Like, I won't bang.
Because that's why I have control of my own ego.
Yeah, right.
And you don't have control over yours.
How do I get control of mine?
No. And this is how, if we're fighting, this is how I think. I think I have control of my ego because I'm not just a better person than you. I'm a better fighter than you. I'm a better father.
Oh my God, he's killing me.
That's when we're fighting. That's how I'm just telling you how my brain works.
Yeah.
And I know my ego
is
better than your ego. And here's how I'm gonna pull your ego out though. I fight in a pink skirt, and I'm in your face.
That's rubbing it in, motherfucker.
No, because I want.
No, fuck that.
Here's how I'm controlling your ego.
In.
Once I turn you around and I hump you from behind, everything you've ever learned in boxing is out the window.
I want to kick your ass right now, motherfucker.
And then you start to. Then your game plan falls apart. On a serious note,
I know.
Your game plan falls apart, and now I'm in your head,
right.
And now you're trying to catch up, but it's too late. And now you know I'm better than you in every part of your life.
All right, here's where I'm going to come back at you, you son of a bitch, with my ego. You're lucky we got a referee right here and we have these stupid boxing rules.
Bro, do you know how many people try to fight me?
Street, I'm bringing you to the ground and I'm choking your ass.
Bro, do you know how many people try to fight me after a fight?
Ooh, I'm going to snap into it. You don't know what I got. I'm going to throw the people's elbow on you. I'm going to throw the stone cold stunner.
You know how many people want to fight me after fights?
Right.
Because I'm not an aggressive person in real life. But
I don't know who would really actually want to fight you. You're such a sweetheart.
But in a boxing match, my job was to get under your skin.
Right. Plus it sells tickets.
No, that wasn't why I did it. We didn't really sell tickets. It was just psychologically I needed to break you down.
Sun Tzu, The Art of War.
Yeah, and now I'm starting to understand that. I dated a girl, she would call it black magic, because I'll put things in your head.
I like that. I love that shit about when fighters do that.
Yeah, it was my game plan. Sometimes when I would get in, some dudes did not like that. They didn't affect them at all. Some dudes were just there to fight. I was like, God damn.
Nick Diaz and the Nate Diaz of the world. Talk all the shit you want. I'm still gonna give you a beat down.
There's some people that I beat them before weigh-ins, and we get in the ring. It's just a procedure now.
By the way, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I love your style. I'm just giving you another perspective.
Yeah.
Like, I love this shit. I'm on your side.
Yeah,
I love that shit. I love working somebody, getting in their head.
Yeah, but that was my strength. And see, I didn't have that tough guy thing, and if I would put my head down and like go toe to toe with somebody, it wouldn't work out in my favor.
Never?
Not with a heavyweight.
No, I was small for my weight class. I'm 6'2".
Yeah, but is a 150 gonna really piece you up?
Like, what do you mean? Like
a 152?
No, but I'm fighting.
Dude.
I'm.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you might be a little bit less. Yeah, if you got in a real fight with a real not a real heavyweight, not that you're not a real heavyweight.
Yeah.
But a stereotypical heavyweight. Yeah, they might fuck you up.
Yeah,
but
I'm not rolling that dice, bro.
But a middleweight or a light heavyweight.
But I'm not fighting a middleweight, and like, you mean on the street?
Yeah, wherever.
Oh, no, I would never fight on the street. I would run. I would turn my back and run before I would ever fight on the street.
I love that.
Because your hands are still classified.
No, not
There's
because my
no
hands are
such thing as a
classified. I
classified
am
thing.
terrified of prison.
Right.
As a kid, I didn't like being on timeout. I ain't trying to be on timeout right now. I follow the law. I pay my taxes. I don't want no problems. Fighting, I don't even get a trophy for beating you up. Let's say you and I fight.
I would not fight you.
But let's say
I like you. I do like you, Cam.
First of all, you don't know who knows jiu-jitsu.
Right.
You take me down. Everything I learned about punching is useless.
Well,
now I'm at your mercy.
If you and I ever did get in a fight, my goal is to take you to the ground. I'm fairly confident I can make that happen.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do it because all you have to do is catch me once.
Yeah, but also that it's so unlikely to be caught that one. And also, let's say I do hit you, your head hits the floor, you die. I go to jail.
Yeah.
Let's also say I hit you, I knock you out, I steal your sneakers because I'm going to.
I'm going to take yours as well.
But then after that, it's like, oh,
God damn it,
Cam beat up somebody who Cam just beat somebody up.
A podcaster.
Cam
in
beat up
Kansas City. This fucking 44-year-old white dude.
Or let's say
picking
you
on
win.
an elderly man.
Let's say you win.
Oh, that's fucking great for me. I might beat you up after this episode just to get some clout.
So tell me where it benefits me to fight.
Right.
And I took this approach, that logical approach, with boxing as well. Like, I looked at things like, okay, I can't go toe-to-toe with you. And I knew I had to be in better shape than you because if it's close, I don't want to look tired.
Right. I got to smile the whole time.
I mean, have you ever had a rival before?
Ooh, have you ever had a rival before? Was asked off mic.
I ever had a rival.
Can we? I got to pee so bad.
Bro, I got to pee too.
All
yeah,
right.
I didn't know we can pause.
Yeah, we can pause. We can pause. All right, we're back. Holla at your boy. We had a nice little break. Refilled our cups with this crystal clear ice. And I had a question for you, Cam F Awesome. While your whole boxing career, I am a man of Michigan. I'm born and raised Michigan Wolverines. I hate Ohio State. If I even go to the state of Ohio, I make an effort. And I'm not kidding. This isn't for nothing. I literally will step out of my car and piss on Ohio. Wherever I am. Fuck Ohio State. I'm like that guy. I'm like that rival guy.
Which is your
rivals.
school?
Michigan.
Michigan State or University?
University, baby. The Wolverines. Let's go. The national champions. Let's go. U of M.
Of which sport?
Hail to the victors. All the sports.
Oh, okay.
Football.
We go hard.
Hockey, baseball, basketball, rowing, wrestling. I don't care. If it's U of M, it's me. And so we hate Ohio State. We've got that rival. It feeds us the whole year. If we lose every single game, but we beat Ohio State, that is a successful year, and the coach will never lose your job. If a Michigan coach in football loses every single game during the season but beats Ohio State every year, that coach will keep their job. So do you, Cam F Awesome, have any rivals in boxing? Did you have any rivals? You're like, oh,
First off, I think that's intense.
yeah,
That rivalry is intense.
yeah.
So my family's from Trinidad and Jamaica. We don't know
Formerly
anything
known
about
as Trinidad and Tobago.
sometimes, and yeah, we don't know anything about college, like colleges, nonetheless like college sports, and then it's like D1, D2. I don't understand any of it.
Okay.
And then there's all the conferences and divisions, and then there's bowls.
You're not a football guy.
I don't think I was like a.
But you understand the concept of a rival.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was the question.
So, like, did you have any rivals? Anybody you were like, I don't care. Like, I have to be, like, I'm going to eat this kid's children.
No. I made sure I never allowed. So that when I talk about that equation, 1 + 2 = 3, there's no room in it for emotion.
God, that's where I'm at. We're on the opposite fucking polar. Like, you're on one side of the moon, I'm on the other, my man.
And that's why in our philosophies in boxing, you would never beat me.
Yeah.
I would even if you were in a shell, I would sucker you out because your ego will just take over.
But if we got in a street fight, I'd beat your ass.
I'd run from you.
I love it.
But it's like that.
That's the smart. You're the smart. You're the person that evolves. I'm the knuckle-dragging Neanderthal that got wiped out. You're the one that
started using tools.
They started using tools that mated with Homo sapiens, and your genes progressed. You know there is like a certain population of Homo sapiens with a small percentage of Neanderthal DNA in them, correct?
Yeah.
They intermingled, you know. So you were one of those Neanderthals that's like, I'm going to intermingle with the Homo sapiens. I was one of those knuckle draggers that's like, fuck those Homo sapiens. I only fuck.
Ooh, that Homo sapien over there looking thick.
Yeah. And nope, I went extinct and my bloodline lost, and yours keeps going to the awesome genes.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm sorry.
I would.
Sorry, son.
I get that's like, I never try to have a rival because I couldn't do anything harder than I'm already doing it. Because all I do is work off of what you're doing. So
that's interesting.
One of the things that, because I'll just get overly eager, and because it's a waiting game, and I want to be in your head at all times.
What kind of parents did you have? Like, what was your upbringing? That has to be a part of it.
What do you mean?
I feel like you probably had pretty good parents that set you straight with a good mindset, and you had good examples to look up to.
That's not the case.
Really?
Yeah. The case, what I got from my childhood is life happens no matter what.
Right.
Figure it out and keep going.
All right.
And the figure it out part.
All right, but there's a lot of different ways to go to figure it out. You know, there's some unscrupulous ways people can go to figure it out. And so maybe people that didn't have a good family home find a more unscrupulous way to figure shit out. Maybe they're like, let me slang some rock or some weed here and
You become very resourceful when you need to.
Right, but other people, you know, are now like being Olympic boxers, and I don't know. That's why I'm wondering. I think
I was always a resourceful person. So when I saw boxing, most people would see boxing as like, okay, this is a path for me to turn pro. I saw it as this is a path for me to get to the next thing I want to get to.
No, I get that. My question was, what was your upbringing like? Did you have both your parents? Were you guys middle class?
So I lived with both parents until I was about 4. Then I lived with my grandma until I was about 12.
Oh, wow.
My grandma, she's Jamaican, and Jamaican people often like to die where they were born. So she picked up and went back to Jamaica with all my childhood pictures. So there's no proof that I was a child ever. And she went to Jamaica to go die. Culturally thing.
To literally just go die? Like, I live my life here, then I'm going to go like a cat.
She wanted to live her last
No disrespect,
year.
but kind of cats kind of like...
Cats do that? I don't know much about cats.
Cats will like leave their house and go like out in the woods and die. if they
that's
can.
I mean, that's kind of nice of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
I don't know shit about Jamaicans. I like
but
jerk
then
chicken.
when I was like, word. When I was like 13, I moved in with both my parents. They had moved in together for the first time to be able to like afford to have us.
Okay.
Because it was me and my two sisters, and then I moved. So I lived with my parents between the ages of like 13 and 17, and I moved out at 17.
Where Kansas City? Like
New York. So I lived in New York. I came to Kansas City in like 2008 when I was like 20.
oh shit, you're from New York?
Yeah.
Okay, I had no idea. Why are you here?
Boxing. Some dude.
Boxing
it's
brought
in
you
the
to
book.
Kansas City?
Yeah. Some dude invited me to Kansas City to spar with a fighter, and
Who's the white guy? The Great White Hope? Who was our white guy?
was
Tommy
Morrison.
Tommy Morrison.
It was Tommy Morrison's coach.
Oh,
It
yeah.
wasn't to spar Tommy Morrison, of course.
No, he's
but,
been dead for a hot
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Uh,
HIV.
But it was.
Don't laugh at that.
Yeah, he brought me out here to spar a fighter, and he brought me out here for 6 days, and I came out for a month, and I just stayed.
Why?
Because I realized, again, being resourceful,
Cheaper out here?
No, he would coach me. And before I couldn't, so I won nationals like while I was working at Waffle House. And when I met him, he says, what do you need to, because I just won nationals, he said, what do you need to win?
You were working at Waffle House?
Yeah, man.
Smothered, covered, sliced,
Bro, it
and
makes me
diced?
sick to my stomach.
Really?
Bro, you know, the most annoying part being a cook is like drunk people can commentate on you cooking.
It's Waffle House. Yeah, I mean, that's what... Come on, man.
Hey,
It's
bitch,
Waffle House.
add more hash browns. Like that. Now, I was going to add more hash browns before. Now, I don't want to add more hash browns.
I love Waffle House.
Man.
Is there a better place to dine and dash than a Waffle House?
Bro,
Don't do it unless you're in high school.
I had some bad...
If you're in high school, dine and dash at Waffle House. It's a cultural right.
Don't run out on the waitresses.
Yes.
Leave a tip.
Leave $5. Give them $5, but dine and dash.
Yeah.
If you're in high school. That's a Neandertalk stamp of approval.
Wise. Yeah. I don't know where we're going with that. But yeah, I was at...
So you worked at Waffle House.
Oh, yeah. I worked at Waffle House, and I had the opportunity if I could come to Kansas City, work for his company in the warehouse, and
Dude.
he allowed me to take off work because it's my boxing coach. He allowed me to take off work to fight. So the reason why I fought so much is he asked me, what do you need to win? And I said, the only reason why I haven't won more things is I can't afford to go anywhere. And he funded all of my trips places to go fight. And I've fought and won, and it was a good deal.
Was he winning money on the side of you? Was he betting on you? Like, how does this...
No.
Is this an underground circuit? Like, what kind of... Like, what are you fighting for? Why are you fighting? Like, what is this, like, fighting circuit that you're involved in?
No, when he invited me to move out, he allowed me to live in his house for a year for free, gave me a car, and I was like, okay, he probably wants to try to turn me pro, try to make money off me or something. And
Is that okay?
yeah, that's what people do.
Okay.
And one day I was like, he said he wanted to talk about my career, and I'm like, oh, here it goes. He's going to try to make some money off me or something. And he's like, yeah, I don't think you should turn pro. And I was like, well, that was my plan in my head, but I was like, what? And I was trying to figure out what did he want out of the situation? It's been years and didn't want anything. He saw somebody with a dream and just wanted to be helpful. And of course I made his gym look good and all of that. And and he was like a positive figure in my life for one point.
Because he was being real with you?
Yeah.
And then what he was like, don't go pro, I want you to go amateur and go the Olympic route?
No,
Like, it's like you're not good enough to be pro, but you could be the best amateur.
Oh no. The thing about turning pro is like you can sign a paper right now and be a professional fighter.
I understand.
Yeah.
But I'm saying to be in the Olympics, you can't be a professional.
Yeah, you can't
have
be
to be an amateur.
Yeah.
So was his angle be the best amateur and go that route? Because there's still money to being a really good amateur, right?
No, there's no money.
Really?
There's no money. It costs money.
Well, I
Once
imagine you would have made money had you not gotten screwed over for the Olympics, and you were a medalist. Would you have been a medalist in the as an American in the Olympics boxing? Like you can't tell me there's not money in that.
Yeah. You get it's like for.
I don't mean the Olympic money. I mean where you can go from branding after that, and what you can do with.
If okay,
You
here's
get on the fucking Wheaties box, son.
But you know how many Olympians there are that have the Olympian title? The thing is, they don't know what to do with it. There are a lot of boxers I see who like were Olympians.
But you're a guy I think that knows what to do with it.
Yeah, but I never got it.
All right.
I'm doing, but
imagine what you would have done with it.
Do you see what I'm building?
But that's what I'm saying. Is that what his angle was with you? Is like you're not good enough to be pro, but you're good enough to be the best amateur and go that route and make money that route and go that way. Be a good amateur, be an Olympian, and then branch and make money that way instead of the professional route. Is that what he saw in you?
Maybe, but my plan was to never turn pro.
Well, okay, why?
Because I never wanted to make it a career. Because
you want it on your resume.
Yeah, one, it wouldn't be as fun because then you have to fight and they tell you who to fight and you're not independent.
Yeah, but with so many different boxing commissions, you can kind of. All right, how about this? You're done boxing. Are you done boxing?
Oh yeah, I'm done boxing.
You're done?
Yeah.
Would you take one more fight?
No.
Why? What if it was $1
million?
You probably missed out. But could you have gotten in on that? Like, who's the boxer? Logan Paul or Jake Paul?
Jake Paul.
Could you have maybe like angled your way towards that if you like? Because you could maybe catch in on that train. If you're like, yo, I was an Olympic boxer, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's questioning how you've never boxed any real boxers. I'm an Olympian boxer who got fucked over. I'll whip your ass all over the fucking place, Jake. Like, let's fucking go. Is there a route? Would you be interested in doing something like that?
I like him. I think he's good for the sport.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm a fan.
All right, man. You know, I tried setting you up. I tried setting you up.
No, I wouldn't. It's
a Neandertalk Podcast exclusive of you like talking some shit and maybe trying to get paid and calling out a Paul.
No.
Which one is it, Jake or Logan?
It's Jake.
Jake.
And the other one's like wrestling. I think that's so cool what they're doing. Like, doesn't take anything away from what I'm doing. I think it's cool. This dude, he doesn't have to. He got himself involved in a real sport, which is boxing, and he's taking it seriously. Of course he has to fight nobody's here and there because this is him starting his career. Like,
I understand
all
that.
of the boxers fight nobody. He's just doing it under a main stage.
All right. You know.
But I can see his hateability, and I actually appreciate that about him.
No. You know, you just let me down is all. I set you up. I set the ball up there for you to just volleyball 7'1" Lithuanian jump up and spike that shit into someone's face. Just to set up a little fight, a little rivalry. Like, yeah, fuck that guy. I'm coming at you. I'm a fucking real Olympian that's put it in.
In the beginning when I talked about like being independent and all that, I like that.
But this is playing the game. Listen,
he's playing the game.
No.
He is playing the game.
I just gave you the opportunity to play the game.
But that's not who I am.
Yes, it is who you are.
Nah.
You got into boxing to play the game.
Oh, yeah. But
so this is the game of like life and making money.
So
what if you came at Jake Paul and like made a viral clip of talking some shit because you're an Olympian boxer that got fucked over, and you're going to take him off and show him what a real boxer does. Blah, blah, blah. It could have been the very beginning imprints of a footprint to go after him and get paid.
I don't value virility.
If it gathers someone's attention and you could actually get a fight with him, do you think you could take out Jake Paul? Could you beat him in a fight? No, you know what? You are right. Because the way you fight is for points and shit, and that would bore everybody. He wouldn't take you. He can't knock you out. You can't knock him out. It would bore people, and it would throw people off of the game. Never mind. You saw. Yeah, never mind. I should never have brought it up.
It wouldn't be exciting.
Edit that out. Editing that out. I mind fucked.
And I don't like when fighters who are like out talk, like after you're retired, you're talking about who you would have beat up and what you would have done. And I hated when people would do that when I was fighting. Like I'm in my prime, and then someone in their 40s was like, man, if I was still fighting, you would have been doing that. And I'm like, nah, I see someone doing their thing. More power to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
And it's a lot easier because the weight of hating on somebody.
The weight of hating on somebody, it is, how do you get rid of it? So give me one of your, like, how can I be successful with, how do you get rid of the hate? How do you check that ego? Is it from, like, how did you check your ego?
Bro, I do it every day. Every day. I'm still working on it. There's a bunch of things I'm working on. It's like intentional. I thought, and here's the thing, I am 35 and I don't have any kids, and I have a job that gives me relatively a lot of time. I got a lot of time to think. So I don't expect everybody to put this much thought into this type of stuff, but like I make everything like super intentional in my life.
Yeah. You're a real fucking dude, man. I don't know how. I look at you as like an infomercial back in the day. Like this guy that's selling this fucking get rich quick scheme. Just do this, do that. I'm so happy I do all this shit. But like you actually do it. It's been 2 years and you were spouting the same shit 2 years ago.
Every morning I write 10 things I'm grateful.
I know, it's fucking
and it
wild.
Sucks. It's not easy, bro. It's a lot of times I don't feel like doing it.
That's another thing that I told you at the beginning of this episode, you are on my mind all the time. I constantly think about you. How every day you wake up and you write something that you're grateful for. Every single day you write something new. And Cam, I literally think about you more often than a human being should.
Bro.
I really do.
Bro, thank you, man.
I guess where you really had an impact on my life. And I'm like, I woke up today as I did 654 days ago where Cam wrote something that he is grateful and thankful for. Like, this is another day where he would have done that. What would I have been thankful for today? And I think about shit.
Brother, you can start tonight. You can start tomorrow morning.
I do, but I'm not consistent with it. I do think of things. And do you write it down in a journal?
So I've added to the practice since then. It's 10 things I'm grateful for every morning. I write down 5.
By the way, I hate to cut you off. I'll let you. I just rode through a panic attack. I just rode through that motherfucker.
Respect.
I got to the other side of it, you guys. You have no idea. I wanted to go to the hospital and end this podcast 5 minutes ago. All right, go on. Sorry.
I'm glad you made it through, man.
I did.
So I do 10 things I'm grateful for every morning.
10?
Every morning, 10 things.
How? It's got to be stupid shit. And there's no, I don't understand. This is where it's going to get out. This is where you will never be off my mind. I can maybe come up with one thing every day. I can do that. But 10.
So here's why. If I told you to come up with 10 things that's not going good, I bet you could do that.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I can relate. Yeah.
I don't, right now.
What are you looking for? What you seek is what you find.
I'm pretty good right now. I don't know. There's a lot I can.
So here's how it's a very subjective thing.
Right.
Think about someone in your life who's a negative person. Think about that person. Now, does that person think that they're a negative person?
Nobody thinks they're a negative person.
So why would you think you're not?
I do think I'm a negative person.
How can we work on that?
I purposefully try to be as positive as I can, and some people would say I'm positive, but to me it's still not positive enough because I still let those negative thoughts and impulses take over sometimes, and I still just succumb to them, and I know I can do better, and every day that I don't do better, I get upset that I can't do better, and it's just this weird fucking cycle.
How nice are you to you?
Some days pretty good, but other days, I don't know. I'm pretty good. I don't know.
So the reason why I asked that, so when I do my journal every morning, so I do the 10 things I'm grateful for every morning, and it's not easy. I sit there. Sometimes it takes me 13, 14 minutes to come up with 10 things. But I'll find the smallest little things. Sometimes I think oh, that light I got, it's just even like if something was on sale, you can find so many little things to be happy for. And you start to search for even the smallest things after a while. And then your brain is trained to find them. Are you familiar with the reticular activating system?
No.
It's like a filter in your brain. Your unconscious mind picks up billions of bits of information, but your conscious mind can only process 50 bits about. So your RAS filters billions of bits of information into about 50 bits. So what you seek is what you find. If you go shopping for a yellow car, you don't find it, but you start seeing yellow cars everywhere after that.
Right.
It's because as soon as you told your brain you're looking for
The
it,
same kind of car you drive, you happen to notice there's a little more Kia Optimas out there than normal.
and that's basically it. And it's like it's what you find. So if you say that I'm not capable, your brain will sift through billions of bits of information and find anything and ignore all of the reasons why you are capable.
And accept the ones that are not capable because
and
that's that bias that your brain is trained to look for.
And then you believe.
Okay. Fuck, dude. It's that fucking easy. Are we in a simulation? Is this all a fucking program? You just have to fucking type code into your stupid monkey brain?
Hear me out. Now, if it's just that simple of just typing in the code, because that's the way I look at it now. I look at it just literally typing in the code to be happy. If you don't type in the code, you won't be happy. So if I don't do my journals, I won't be happy. And I might not be not happy.
Are you doing a physical journey pen to paper?
Pen to paper every morning.
You have to, right?
I've got journal on journal on journal.
You have to.
So I do the 10 things I'm grateful for. I write 5 goals or intentions. And then I also...
Well, okay, can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah.
Obviously I can, and obviously you don't have to answer it. So I will ask, what were your 10 things this morning that you woke up and you were intentional about?
Oh,
you were grateful for this morning. What were the 10 things you were grateful for this morning?
I'll try to give as many of them as I can off my head. One, I had a really good conversation with someone that I needed to have. And also when I add someone's name to my journal, I reach out to them that day out of context and just let them know I'm thinking about them or appreciate them. Or I send them like a GIF or a doggy meme or something.
Nice.
And my friends know that, it just means hey, I'm thinking about you.
Nice.
Another thing was I got to hang out with my buddy Matt Mays. He's my friend. You don't know who he is, but it's a cool name. And we competitively play
pickleball.
No, hockey, NHL hockey on Xbox One. We had to choose a game that neither of us are good at and play so we can be competitive. So we're only allowed to play against each other.
Can I get in on that?
We can pick a game, but I can't play. I can't practice or get. So we're even, and it's really just to talk shit.
Right.
And it's very competitive. But if he plays NBA 2K and I don't play enough, and so I was grateful for that.
Nice.
I'm drawing a blank, but I do 10 things every morning.
Okay.
And this will be on my list tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I believe that. Nice. Okay, so and then things you're intentional for or goals, you say?
Yeah. So
Like 5 goals for a day?
yeah, and a lot of times it's just the same ones.
But eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
No, one of them is
Hit a green light. Hit one green light and like not cuss at a single driver.
bro.
That's my fucking right. That's hard as fuck, bro. I yell. I try to work hard on it with my kids in the car, but sometimes.
But what are you angry at? Because you're not angry at that other car. It's not that car.
I mean, not unless he cuts.
I don't know.
No, even if he cuts you off, it ain't the car.
I'm just like, hurry up and go. Why are you so? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, why are you so slow? There's other people.
Are you anxious?
I have. You know what? I do have something that is probably not normal. Is I have an unhealthy relationship when it comes to time. If I say I'm going to be there at 12:07, I'm going to be there at 12:02 at the latest. And if I'm not there early, I'm freaking out. I'm like, how the fuck is this not going to happen? I cannot be late. And if someone's late, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I have a real unhealthy issue with time.
How are you when other people are late?
You got 20 minutes. And if you miss it by 20 minutes, you're dead to me. Kind of thing. Like
Boundaries are important to set.
It will.
I've been reading self-help books.
The most precious commodity we have on earth is time. We never get it back. It is very, very valuable. And I want to respect everybody's time. And if you say you're going to be somewhere at a certain time, I want you to be there when you say you're going to be there. Like, it's just
Time is life.
and then like, yeah, if I'm inviting someone to do something, I want to make sure I'm super respectful of. It's just, to me, that's the most, like I said, the most precious commodity we have on earth. We don't get it back. It's spent in many different ways, and it's invaluable. Like, I can have $1 million in.
Do you speed when you drive?
Oh yeah, 80 miles an hour. 80 miles an hour is is where I go everywhere.
Cool. I was curious.
Why?
Because you're anal about time. I'm
Right.
anal about time, and I am trying to work on not speeding. So I'm trying to be intentional. I'm trying to add intentionality in my life until, like, so.
Why don't you want to speed?
One, because I saw something about like how much faster you actually get somewhere when you speed.
I know.
And I was like, oh, it doesn't make any sense, and I'm risking getting a ticket.
I don't care about that. I haven't had a ticket in 20 years.
Knock, knock, knock.
I'm not worried about it.
So, and there's no reason. And I'm just taking a chance and risking getting an accident, swerving through lanes. Why?
God damn, I'm not smart like you.
No, I do
you
it too.
understand?
This is me trying to not do it.
Because my thing is like, I don't like having somebody in front of me.
And I don't like having someone behind me.
You can be behind me, but I don't want, like, if I'm coming up on you, get your ass over. You're in the wrong fucking
The left lane
lane
is for passing.
No, it's not for bad. It's for fast fucking drivers. If you're not going at least 10 over, get the fuck out of my way. If I come up on you, I will ride your ass until you get your ass over.
So I'm a
Move,
flasher,
bitch. Get out the way. I'm a flasher too. Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way.
And if I flash you, I'm like, hey, sometimes maybe you got a text or you didn't realize you're going slower in the left lane.
Right.
If I flash you, hey, just move over. Don't
or speed up.
Or speed up.
Yeah.
But don't slow down to be spiteful now.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
that's
that's
fighting
not
words.
nice.
Then I'm getting Cam. I have no real formal training in fighting. I don't. I'm not a boxer.
Those be the people who want to fight.
I've been in road rage. I've gotten in fights, road rage fights before, where we got out of our car and I threw a person up into another person's car that was sitting at a red light. This poor little old lady, just grandma, was like, "Oh my gosh!" as I threw this dude into her car. It's irrational.
Yeah, that doesn't seem healthy, bro.
It's not. This was a very long time ago.
I'm glad we've grown.
I have grown from that. It was a very long time ago, but
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The difference is there are these different people. There's idiot cavemen like me, and there's the fucking enlightened ones like you. How
Bro,
did you get there?
I'm not there. This all I'm
Reading
like
this book by Becoming Awesome. If I read Becoming Awesome by Cam F Awesome,
Please say yes.
is that going to help me overcome some of my faults?
What do you think your faults are?
I just told you I drive 80 miles an hour, girls.
Oh.
The speed I drive.
Well, I think I'm awesome. My speed too. Like I'm not perfect. Everything I talk about is like my morning affirmations and things I post.
I don't
they're
do
not,
that.
They're not things that I'm perfect at. These are things that I'm trying to be intentional working on. Like I'm by no means. I don't know what I'm doing.
Who keeps you accountable? So you say, Cam, you say you do 10 every single day, but I'm going to challenge you and say I don't believe that you do. Who keeps you accountable that actually is it just you? And sometimes you slip up and sometimes you don't, and you allow yourself that? Or is anybody keeping you accountable to make sure that you are doing that?
No one is keeping me accountable when you say it. Yeah, no one's keeping me accountable. I do have journals on journals on journals, and now I had them in a drawer, and now it's too full. And I'm like, what? Do I just keep these journals forever? I need to make a decision. Am I going to be that person who just keeps journals forever? I'm just going to toss them away because it served its purpose. But if I'm ever in a situation where like I forgot my journal at home because I travel a lot, I'll write it in my phone and then transcribe it into my journal when I get home, just so there's never an entry missing.
So you don't have an accountability partner. You're just accountable to yourself. And we just have to trust that you're doing this.
So here's one of the things in boxing.
You shit.
Here's the thing in boxing, because like people think like that. In boxing, people be like, I went running. Like, because boxing, you're supposed to run a lot and do
Gotta
cardio.
have that cardio, son.
Dudes would be like, yeah, I mean, I ran.
Jump
like,
rope.
Who are you lying to?
You're only going to lie to yourself when it comes to it.
Because once you get in the ring, you get your ass beat.
Right.
And once you get tired, you can't be like, oh, I didn't run. Yeah, obviously. So like the personal accountability, I think growing up, I knew I needed to rely on myself.
Okay.
And I think that's just inherent in me.
Nice.
But I think anybody could develop this discipline, and I'm attainable.
What do you mean?
Nothing I do is special. I'm just consistent. I just add small things to my life.
There is something about you that has to be special to be able, not because if it were easy, everybody would do it. And what you're doing isn't easy, or else everybody would wake up every day and say their 10 things they're grateful for and set intentions on the day and be as disciplined as you. So you built it somewhere.
So remember that equation 1 + 2 = 3?
I know.
Let's start to the 1.
But you got that at a very young age, and you were able to figure that out. That's not how very few people come up with that. So you're just being humble to say that you're not special to have come up and to stay disciplined with that philosophy of life. And it's an admirable thing, and I think you should take some pride in it, because I think it's a really cool thing to be able to be a strong, disciplined person to have come to where you are in life. It's really...
Thank you.
You are, dude. You are like... I love these... I can have anybody on my podcast, and it amazes me to get somebody like you on you to where I get to just rub elbows with some human specimen like yourself.
Bro.
It is crazy.
Hey.
It is so crazy to be able to do this, and it's wild. You're a special human being, and you should acknowledge that at some level.
I think here's the problem. Of course, I think all that about myself. I also think that about you.
Oh, no.
Why don't you think that about yourself?
I'm just a mailman, dude.
Bro.
I don't know.
So
because I wasn't in
I talk about this in the book. The concept of humility.
I can't wait to read your book. I am going to read it, I promise you. I can't wait.
Have you ever looked up the definition of humility?
Oh, no. I haven't.
Do you have your phone? Look it up.
All right.
So, and you said you have 2 kids, right?
Hey, Siri, what's the definition of humility? Oh, it's not going to read it out loud, you sack of shit, Siri. All right. I can't. It won't.
And while you look for that, while you read the definition, I want you to think about your child.
Which one? I love my kids. God, I love my kids. Those fuckers.
But do you like them?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I really like my kids. I'm very lucky, but I can understand how you would have kids that you don't like. Definition of humility. All right. Sorry, we're Googling this. Oh, God damn it. I got too much shit going on. Humility. I said humility, but it didn't give me the definition, you son of a gun. This is horrible.
How bad are you at reading out loud?
I'm great at reading out loud. I told you I can't see shit because of my eyes.
I know.
Freedom from pride or arrogance, the quality of state or being humble. Freedom from pride or arrogance.
Okay,
That's
look up
it
the
is.
definition of humble.
Okay. Humble, not proud or haughty, not arrogant or assertive. Definition number 2, reflecting, expressing, or offered in a spirit of deference or submission. That's fucking wild. A ranking low in hierarchy of scale. Well, Maslow's hierarchy, I presume.
So the Latin root word for humility is the reason why the word humility and humiliate sound like the same word. The Latin root word is lowly. And I think and not to be disrespectful to anybody's religious beliefs, but I think the concept of humility has been beaten into us, that we have to see ourselves as smaller, because the idea of being humble and being lower, being smaller. So if you're up here, you're killing it in life, and you run into somebody who's not, you humble yourself down. But here's the thing: why can't you pull them up to where you are? Because what if we all just keep lowering ourselves to the lowest person in the room?
The rising tide raises all ships.
Word. So even when you talk about me, I'm like, you should be thinking about yourself the way you think about me.
I just look that you've accomplished a lot more than I have.
So, and the thing is, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything that you're not capable of. You just decided not to.
Oh, no, I've tried and I just haven't gotten there. How about that? Because maybe you worked harder or were more gifted or just have
Probably because
whatever.
I worked harder.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, when in boxing, yeah. If I won, it's either I worked harder or I was in an easier weight class. And we already established that.
I still think you worked pretty hard.
Oh, I no. I'm not taking any of that away. I did work really hard. That's why I have it. You could have worked hard too. And you, like, if you're listening to this, you're like, yeah, you can do anything if you're willing to work hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to suck and you're not going to get it right away. It might be a really long time until you get what you want. And it might not look as grand as you thought it looks.
Yeah.
Like I wanted the Olympics, didn't get it.
What do you think about manifestation? Do you buy into that at all? I talk to a lot of people that are like, just manifest your destiny. You put it out there, you believe it, and it can come.
So the whole, like, if you can fail without being discouraged, here's the discouraged piece. If you speak something into existence, so I already said, like, if I said I'm not capable, my brain will look through all of this information and find anything to confirm that. Mm-hmm. So if you say like, I'm going to be the greatest podcast host, mm-hmm. you're going to look for every reason to confirm that belief. You're not going to, and if let's say you don't get a podcast deal or you lose a guest or something, you're more likely to continue on because you know it's going to eventually happen. And if you can continue to fail and figure it out and get better each time without being discouraged because you know you've spoken into existence and it's going to happen eventually, right. You're eventually going to get it.
I believe you.
Like, that's everything. You don't even have to be good. You just have to be consistent.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
But it sucks, and you have to be patient. And there's no shortcuts.
And patience is a motherfucker, dude. Charles.
No, that's real.
Patience is a motherfucker.
Yeah.
But that's the definition of patience. Is it's a motherfucker.
I think that
If
is-
you look
it's
up
a
in
Webster.
if you look up, hey Siri, what's the definition of a motherfucker? It will say patience. See, yeah, it just came up. Yep, patience is a motherfucker.
Yeah. And that's everything. And if like just pick something you want to be really good at and do it. I'm sure if you go back to your first podcast episodes, you're pretty shitty.
I beg to differ. I think they're pretty good. I don't know. You're right. I even said that back when I first started. I even acknowledge it. I was like, I know these are going to sound like shit when I'm a few years into it. I was like, I bet you I'll still even be like shit. I bet you it takes forever.
I hope you look back and think you're shit in 10 years.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
means
exactly.
You're growing like.
That's what I'm saying.
But imagine you not starting your podcast because you don't think you're going to be good.
Oh, that was never an issue. I
No,
knew
but
that was
like
gonna be good.
that's
But
just an
yeah.
example of what so many people do in their lives. Like, yeah, you're going to suck at everything in the beginning. And you
You
might
have
suck
to.
longer than other people suck.
Yeah, baby steps. You got to
Yeah.
crawl before you can walk, baby.
Yeah. That's what kind of the book is about. It's like you don't have to be special, just be consistent.
How long's the book been out?
December 4th, released it on Jay-Z's birthday.
All right.
I also see who I dedicated the book to.
How becoming awesome? How does make success inevitable? And he dedicated it to Neandertalk Podcast and Cam F Awesome. He dedicated it to himself. I meant to dedicate this book to me. Far from a Harvard student. Nice. Yeah. And it. Folks, look, I haven't read the book, so I can't fully vouch for it, but I've now had 2 amazing conversations with the amazing Cam F Awesome, and I imagine this book is going to be great. How can people find this? Like how can people buy this book?
You can buy it on my website, camfawesome.com, or you can buy it on Amazon, amazon.com. And you can find me on social media at Cam F Awesome everywhere because I'm not famous enough to anyone to try to steal my name. So,
And then hopefully we can get you in here and do the audiobook version. Get that on audiobooks.com and make a little bit of money that way as well.
yeah, I just listened to my first audiobook. So I'm going to listen to a few and kind of get a different feel of how different people do it. It's like a one-sided conversation. So it's kind of weird.
Like I was saying earlier, you wrote the book. You know how it sounds in your head.
Yeah.
We all have that mind's eye of how everything sounds and looks in our brain and how you want it to come off. So you can go through your own words and just dictate it and dialect it how exactly you want. Put the emphasis on this word and that word.
Question, because I've never listened to many of them. Do they read it word for word off the page?
Well, the beautiful thing is, Cam, it's your project and you can do whatever you want. If you want to interject, I think the listeners would get a great benefit out of that. And also, the people that read it would also be able to be like, oh shit, there's an added piece in the audio version of him interjecting in certain areas. So it's going to give me an opportunity to buy this one also. I bought the paperback, but I heard he interjected in certain places and
Look at
maybe
you dropping
updated
business
it.
knowledge.
And now I'm going to spend the extra $17 on this version as well.
Oh, okay. That's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Man, thank you for that.
Sure. It seems common sense to me. But yeah, anytime you want, let's get that set up.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Also, I'm not always like super positive. Just want to like throw that out there.
Okay.
But it's very intentional. I surrounded my life around this.
About positivity?
Yeah. Because,
You want to take a break and keep going? Or do you want to end it?
whatever's clever.
It's up to you. Do you got more time?
Yeah.
I just got to really pee.
I got P2.
All right. We're on the same clock. All right. And we'll get you out. We can come back and get you out of here.
All
I
right.
see you looking
Cool.
at your watch.
Oh, no. I just looking at messages.
All right. Hold on. Oh, I had something I wanted. Where were we at when we took our little break?
Don't remember. But I'm sure I was very passionate about it.
All right. So I remember seeing you recently at a comedy club. but you're just kind of hanging out with the other comics at the comic table. Is that something you're pursuing, a career path, or what's your comedy chops like right now? Are you trying to look at that?
Yeah. I've been doing stand-up comedy since 2012. Took a break during the pandemic, and I haven't been doing it as much as recent. But since the pandemic, I haven't been doing it. Now I've been doing it more as of recent.
Okay.
And anytime I can, I stop off and try to support other comics and go to their shows, because like you want people in the seats.
And do you have a 10 or 15 minute set or 5-minute set or something?
I have a 15-minute set I'm comfortable with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we see you out there?
Yeah, I know.
Doing 15 minutes somewhere or 10 minutes, whatever?
Yeah. Nothing coming up. I have nothing on the books right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will you go to like an open mic?
Oh yeah, I still go to open mics. I try to go to open mics a couple times a week. When I go to other cities, I go to open mics in their cities. There's a website, badslava.com, and it shows like all the open mics in every city you go to.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
I was thinking Slav life. This is Slav life. Have you guys seen that shit?
Nah.
Shut up, woman. You are my wife. Get in the kitchen and cook me. This is Slav life or whatever. Like, it's Slovakian rap.
Shout out to the Slavs.
Yeah, the internet's wild.
Is it? Yeah. I have to protect myself from the internet, bro.
As far as like finding shit on you?
No. Like, stop seeing like crazy shit on my timeline.
Ooh, like what?
I don't know, like
what's in your algorithm?
Car crashes, anything like that. I try to keep that out of my algorithm. So I do what I call puppy resets.
I do that.
Yeah, I just go search puppies.
Puppy videos,
like them, and
puppy funny video.
Yeah. I think
car crashes. I hear people of finding car crashes, beheadings, jihadist type videos, but I can never find that shit, and I've kind of looked just because I'm a little bit curious.
Mine is trucker stuff.
Okay,
and
trucker stuff.
And it might be because I travel so much, and the phone has an algorithm to think I'm a truck driver. But I don't know.
Dude, I've been seeing some wild shit of these cave explorers, but they're like, it's not like a cave where you can stand up the whole time and walk through these caves and find it. These people are squeezing in these tiny tunnels. They're going in like all these crazy different angles where, I mean, you have to be like 5'7", 160 pounds or less to be like squeezing yourself through these fucking weird. I don't understand it. So these people they have like the GoPro stick that's like 3 feet in front of them, looking back at them. So their arm is always up, and they're going through these tunnels where it's just barely big enough for them. And then my algorithm keeps getting the ones of these kids that get stuck, and they end up dying that way, where they like find themselves at an angle that shoots at like a 90-degree angle head first, but they're stuck at the hips. And so they're, like a 90-degree position, and they're stuck there for hours and hours and hours until they die, with like a claustrophobic area, barely any light, and then they're stuck, and then they get these rescue crews that come down there and put like pulleys on their legs and wrap their legs with like rope and with a pulley system and try to yank them out. And it's like so much pain on their legs that they can't handle it. And even if they can't handle it or they don't handle it, they still try to drag it. They're so stiff at that point that they can't bend and get out of that fucking hole. And then you have like their parents, like these are like 18, 19-year-old kids doing this shit. And then their dad is never been in a claustrophobic environment before, or in one of these cave mining hole systems, and like the dad's like, well, I have to go to my kid and be there for him. And so they shimmy their way through this fucking dark ass tunnel, squeezing their body just so they can kind of like be with their kid in their last moment in this dark tunnel. And that shit's fucking dark to me. I'm like, you raised this kid and he wanted to be this adrenaline junkie.
I don't think my parents would have showed up into the cave.
I would hate it, and I'd be crying and pissed off the whole time at the same time. I'd be sad and pissed off.
My mom would be like, who told you to go be up in the caves? Ain't nobody invite you to the caves.
That sounds like something my mom would have said.
Yeah.
But you have to like be there for them. Like,
But the thing is, like, because my mom was like that, I knew, like, okay, don't go to the caves. So, like, how do you become the way you became? Because I knew you don't go to the caves.
I've got multiple jobs in this life with my 2 children. I have a boy and a girl. I obviously have to keep her off the stripper pole. And obviously now I have to keep him out of going spelunking into these tight crevices.
Wi-Fi is the new stripper pole, by the way.
What do you mean?
OnlyFans.
Oh, yeah. I mean, same difference. I got to make sure she's like,
Yeah.
find a more respectable path. Shout out to the OnlyFans girls. I've had them on the podcast. I'm not mad at you. I don't hate the game. I like it. I just don't want it for my daughter.
You don't want your daughter to be a player.
I support it. I just don't want my daughter to do it.
Yeah.
I'm a good dad.
No, that's real.
Maybe.
No, I am.
No, not maybe you're a good dad. But, like, actually, no. I don't know. Actually, I'm seeing OnlyFans that are more, because I've seen a few people post OnlyFans, and I was like, oh, I didn't think that person would ever do that. And it turns out it's not, like, X-rated content.
Right.
It's just
but
their
it's implied.
life.
It's implied to get that first month subscription at
Yeah.
least.
And
Dude,
you're like,
I went to
oh.
high school with this chick. She was she was so quiet and always in the library.
How's OnlyFans even a thing? Like, all of the porn is free on the internet.
Oh, come on. You know why it's out there. Capitalism. Like, to see that person, like, oh my God, this is my bartender. I've fantasized about this chick how many times when I went in there to order an old fashioned, and I love the way she puts the cherry in there and just the right amount of bitters, and every time she bends over and gives me that little wink and nod, I think maybe let me go check her OnlyFans out. I'm like, shit.
Someone's a subscriber.
I'm not. I'm just painting the picture of someone that might be into that.
No, well, you painted a beautiful picture, and I never considered it in that light. But I think if it makes dudes less lonely and women get to make money, hey.
I think simps need something too to kind of quash their inhibitions to maybe go a little crazy.
Oh, what's a simp?
A simp's a dude is a scrub, as TLC would say. A scrub who can't get no love from me. A simp ain't a guy can't get no love from me. A simp will always pay my bills, but I'll never give him shit because he just can't do it for me. I just freestyled that shit. Put that on a fucking wax right now.
Bars.
I think a simp is just, a simp's like a dude that can't get laid or has a real hard time talking to chicks or be confident or to have any kind of luck in that department. And so they go different ways of like, I'm going to follow you on Instagram and like every single post you do, knowing maybe if you just knew me and how cool I was, you would date me. But they don't have,
If you just see my like Ninja Star collection,
right,
fall in love.
Yeah, a simp is just kind of an awkward dude, probably a little unfortunate looking. They just can't get there with the lady. Has a hard time with the ladies.
Oh,
I think.
Oh, okay. I see that being called like on the internet, and I'm like, am I too old? Where I don't know what that means.
Yeah, well, I think on the internet it's more even like goes a little bit further, where like it's that person plus they're giving money to the women online, like the e-girls, like the Twitch girls that are streaming in a hot tub, in a bikini in a hot tub, and they're like, oh, here you go, Bella Delphine. There's an E chick, like a famous E chick. Anyways, like Yeah, they'll just give her money for whatever.
How much have you given her?
I've never given anybody anything in that regard. I've never been that guy. I've never had an issue in that department. So, like, even going to strip clubs, I was never. I don't have to pay for it. It's like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Not my thing.
Yeah. Yeah. In my mind,
I'm too tight with my money.
Literally,
I'd rather go
money.
I'd rather go to the roulette table and put it on 23 than give it to some chick that's like taking her bra off. A big deal.
Yeah,
Everybody's seen your tits.
I never got the. I mean, to each his own, but I never got the concept. It's literally throwing money away. That's my least favorite thing ever. Do you know how frugal I am?
That's me.
The concept. I've never been to a strip club.
I'm like that with that and fireworks. I don't spend money on fireworks either for the same exact reason.
Money up.
You're literally putting your money on fire and exploding it. It's not that entertaining to me.
But like some guys, like it's a flex. I'm like, how much they spend in the strip club. I'm like, but like, couldn't we like put down on, like, I don't know. But that's where my brain goes.
Yeah, Cam, this was awesome. Let's end
it
here. I don't want to. I feel like we've gone a long way. We've gone off the rails a little bit. Again, for anybody, let me give you, before we go, let me just give you a little bit of shit. As I could never box with you or spar, but I can go at you with a little bit of fun.
All
okay?
right.
Your very last video on your YouTube channel, what is it called? MrAwesome.com. What is your YouTube channel?
Cam F Awesome. Awesome Talks.
Awesome Talks. That's what it is. Your very last episode was 3 months ago, talking about how you're going to start a podcast and why people don't start things.
Yeah.
That was 3 months ago. You started something and you didn't continue after that.
Yeah.
What happened?
I realized it wasn't the thing I wanted to do, but I started it.
Well, get rid of it then. Take it off there.
It should count for something. I did it.
No, you didn't do it. The whole point of that was saying you do stuff to do something, but you didn't do it. Starting it isn't doing anything.
No, starting is the hardest part. The heaviest weight in the gym is the door.
So you open the door and then you turn back around and you're accomplished?
For about 2 weeks, it was a couple months ago, for about 2 weeks I would just go to the gym and I would stretch and do sit-ups. It was bullshit sit-ups. Stretch and do sit-ups and play on my phone in the gym, and I would just go home. And I did nothing, but I was trying to get myself in the habit of just going to the gym. And eventually I started doing stuff there.
Cam F Awesome. Listen, I started this episode thinking, you know what? If I could call somebody out, maybe you could be like my coach. Teach me how to box, right? And I could just, like, for content and just to start beef. I don't know who it would be. I'd have to think of like a local podcaster and call them out. And we'll have some
Or
beef.
her.
I'm not going to box a female. Or you nodded your head.
Man.
Now,
I'm just giving you options.
Well, no.
Ladies out here are tough.
They're not that tough. I'll be. Listen, don't sucker me into this. Anyways, the more I'm talking to you, the more I want you to coach me to beat somebody and to box somebody. Do you know who I think I want that to be?
Who's that?
You.
You'd want to box me?
You are pissing me off.
No, you don't want to box me.
You are pissing me off, Cam. You got so much talent. You're just like, nonchalant. Like, I'm like laid back. Like, I think I want to box you.
Why box me?
You're like, because I'm checking you on some of this stuff. Like, you started your podcast, and like, I started it. That's the hardest part. That's like opening the door to the gym. I'm like opening the door to the gym and just leaving. No, you have to go in the gym and actually work out and do some shit. Anybody can open the door to the gym, and you're saying that's successful. I'm not with it.
Okay.
All right. I want to be on your side, but like the more and more we get in this war, I'm like, all right, I think I want to box Cam and just like, but it's because you have like no ego and my ego is
I have no. I have such an ego,
but it's so checked. Like you're so.
It's a lot of work.
You don't have any rival. I'm like, all right, listen, I want to like you and I do like you, but you get me to the point We're like, I want to fight you.
What purpose is there having a rival?
You know what? You're just pissing me off.
And you know what?
I don't want no judges because I don't want these cheap shots. I'm going to knock you out. I'm putting you down.
Here, there are people who would, if you ask them, say, "Oh, I have a rivalry with Cam," but people,
you don't have a rivalry with them.
To me, they don't exist. I'm not a part of that.
Right.
In my head,
you're not Michigan or Ohio State. You're like Michigan, but with like Penn State. Penn State's like, or how about Michigan State? Michigan State's like, you're our rival. It's like, yeah, but you're our little brother. Our rival's Ohio State.
Yeah, it's not really a real rival.
Right.
It's like we know what's going on.
So you just got a bunch of little brothers. You don't have a rival.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's one guy that beat me twice. The only guy that's ever done that. I never beat him.
Never felt like
really?
Yeah.
Was he better than you?
Yeah.
And so that's how you accept it, and it's not a big deal. He was just better.
Both were very close fights, but during that fight, yeah, he was better.
Were you like, if I could have worked out 2 weeks more, I could have had him, or if I fight him immediately afterwards, I got a feel for him, like I know what to do now.
The first time I got so good at that mental fighting thing, I was beating everyone with that, like the mental thing, and I would mind fuck somebody before the bell would ring, and I'd won. And
what was your last fight?
The Olympic trials for Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, 2022. You said
2020.
2020.
Yeah.
So 4 years ago.
Yeah.
You've put the gloves down.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What was your last match? Just like a spar, or what was like your last like real?
Oh, I sparred with somebody in the gym, like 2021. But then in 2022, I woke up with a detached retina.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. But I'd already retired, so it didn't really...
Is that why you can't fight now? Like, is that
I mean, I could
probably... that pop out again?
Fighters still fight with it. But
Okay.
It just solidifies my reason for why I need to just keep my ass away from it.
You wouldn't go one more with like a local podcaster?
No. Because no one thinks about everyone thinks about the fights when they think about damage. But it's all the sparring you do to prepare for the fight.
Well, we won't spar. During camp. I mean, I will, but you won't. I've never boxed anybody before, but you're really pissing me off, Cam.
I wouldn't want to.
Well, I'm gonna.
So here's how
sneak in. I'm gonna get inside. I'm gonna learn how to get inside, and I'm gonna throw a Mike Tyson uppercut from under. Ba-ba!
I love your sound effects.
Thanks.
And at one point in this podcast, you did like a whole professional wrestling thing. I love that too.
I really could never fight you. I'm just trying to have fun.
I know. I would never fight.
However, I won't fuck you up.
Nah.
I'll get in your head too. That make you run away. I will make you run away.
So that's the only thing.
We're not even getting a picture. We're not getting a picture together after this episode. I'm going to make you run through that front door.
Yeah, I used to always think, because I had like, there's a dude who used to beat my ass every time he saw me, lived at the end of the block, and
real life,
real life in elementary school. And they would let me leave school 15 minutes early so I can get home before he got to me.
Really?
It was that bad. It was like on site anytime he saw me. And I thought that was a thing everywhere. So like growing up, like I was always afraid, like people who just want to fight me all the time.
Oh.
And that's part of the reason why I got into boxing is like, because I was afraid. I was like, I need to learn how to fight.
Defend myself. Holy shit.
I didn't know what anxiety was.
That would be pretty fucking anxious. To know you are on site no matter what. What was this guy's problem? Did you ever get to the bottom of it? Why he had you in his crosshairs?
No. And like,
just didn't like the cut of your jib.
I would like tell my parents, and like they would say something like, "Oh, you better wash the dishes before we call him over here, beat your ass again."
Are you fucking kidding me?
So it was like at home it wasn't any better.
Oh, I can imagine. I'm walking home with my son every day if he tells me that, and I'm like looking to get into it with a fucking 10-year-old. I'll smack a 10-year-old up. Like,
Man.
I was thinking like we should be going over his house and beating his whole family ass.
Right.
Like that's what I would think. But
see, that's the dad you have in me. That's what we would have been doing. That Ohio State, Michigan shit. We would have choked a fucking family out and lit their house on fire.
yeah,
Like, we know.
so
I got you, son.
Thanks, man.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's why like my brain works the way it was. So like being anxious and wanting to be good at fighting, that was important to me.
All right, we're
But
getting somewhere.
I didn't realize that everybody, like I didn't realize that like that's not a thing.
That's
Like,
not a thing.
yeah.
Wow.
And that's why I'm so like anti-confrontation. Like I don't
No,
like
as
fighting.
you should be. As much shit. I'm just talking and having
Yeah,
fun
yeah.
here.
No,
Like,
hey.
my son, he's 10 years old, and he was talking about he's kind of scared to go to middle school next year for fights and stuff. And he's like, you know what I'm going to do if somebody wants to fight me? I'm like, what? He goes, I'm just going to turn around and run away. And if people say I'm a chicken, he's just going to say, that's okay. I ran away from a fight and didn't lose. I was like, whoa, that was not me. I'm glad you think like that, because that is the smart thing to do. Like, I want him to do that.
Yeah. And I have no pride to like I'll run fight because I know I can fight. And I think once you know you can fight,
You
don't
got nothing
have
to prove to anybody.
Yeah.
Of course, you can be any sucker podcast host sitting down talking shit. Of course, you can whoop their ass. Like, you
Also,
can be anybody.
it takes one punch to get knocked out too.
Right.
So you land one punch, even if you don't need to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like,
And like Mike
people get put to
Tyson,
sleep all the time.
Mike Tyson said, you know, everybody's got a plan until you get hit in the mouth.
Yeah. So yeah, and being a big dude, no one really bothers me. So
Right. You look perfectly capable of defending yourself. No one's gonna. There's easier targets than Cam F Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't fuck with you until I am right now. You son of a bitch. When's the date? I'm coming after you, you son of a bitch. You won't go after one of the Logan Pauls or Jake Pauls
Why does everyone hate those dudes so much?
because it's money.
And they're amateurs.
Because it's money.
Whose money? They're just making money.
Exactly.
Who
That's
money-
how you make money. You talk shit. You build a little bit of a reputation. You talk shit. You play the game. And then his followers and your followers are like, oh, this guy's talking shit. And actual Olympic boxers like, fuck you. You're not boxing anybody. How about you box a real boxer? I almost had the Olympics fucked over. You make that storyline huge up there.
I'm fucked over. I dropped the ball a couple of times myself in
Anyway,
2016.
all I'm just saying is you put that narrative out there and you get people behind you. And then there's a marketing strategy and a way you can go to where you can build up a fight, a pay-per-view fight.
I
and
understand
beef
how
with
it
him.
works.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And you can get paid.
Nah.
Everybody wants to get paid.
Nah, I thought that.
And then you would get to box him. And that could have been your retirement box. Yeah, I beat Jake Paul.
Hang it up. Like, ooh,
Hang it
yeah.
up.
$1 million baby.
Yeah,
Nah.
$1 million baby.
There's so many washed up retired fighters who just throw shade at people who are still fighting today. I'm like, if it's over for you, you don't get to talk about it anymore.
Well, that's why I think they're just trying to. That's their desperate comeback.
Yeah, and
I like a comeback story.
comeback stories are great. Well, I was afraid that I would try to have a comeback story, and then my eye happened. I was like, okay, good.
Gave you an excuse to quit.
Yeah, I was like, I can focus on what I want, because really, I did everything I did was just for like a career. Because I always saw people on TV, they made a lot of money.
I don't want to box you. I want to MMA fight you. That's
Definitely not.
Not
Not gonna kick me to sleep. Yo,
Yeah.
when I got suspended for a year for the boxing in 2012, I went to a kickboxing thing to see if I would just do that to keep me sharp for the year. And I saw a dude get kicked to sleep. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna sit my ass down for a year.
It's a whole other art.
Yeah, it's art, and those dudes are tough. The boxers, a lot of boxers I fought were tough, but I didn't see myself as like a tough grit guy. Like I had the mental stuff down, but these like dudes who roll their shins.
Right.
Yeah. No, I'm not built for that. That's not who I am. Yeah. I'm not that guy.
Wow.
And I respect those guys. I'm like,
was there anybody you wanted to fight? Who's there like, were you ever daydreaming like, I'd like to fight a Manny Pacquiao or a Floyd? A Triple G? I don't know. Was there anybody that you're like, that would be cool just one time to see how I really stand against someone like this? Or no, or maybe a lower... I just want to go to the Olympics and see how I handled the amateurs.
Joe Frazier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I want to see how, if I could trick him into falling into my ideas and like my plans, my style. I mean, if he hit me, he'd kill me, but
you're just hoping not to get hit.
That's the plan.
And you can do that.
Yeah.
That's your specialty.
That's
You're really good at not getting hit.
Until I get hit and like, hey, that shouldn't happen.
What happens when you do get hit? Is that like, what the fuck was that? Like, what's the hardest you've ever been hit?
I was fighting in Kazakhstan, and I got hit with a punch. It was a BS punch, and the ref stopped it and gave me an 8 count like I was dazed. And I was like, because it was the number one guy in the world. And then the second round came, and he hit me with a shot. And I remember having the thought, maybe I can go back to community college.
You got hit?
That was the thought, because I was like, this is... I stepped outside of my body for that moment, and I was like, this is not the career path that I need to be going.
Every decision I've ever made in my life has ended me up to here. I could have gone to community college.
And then I learned, like, when you get hurt or knocked out, like, you fall because your body's numb. And it's not like when your feet goes to sleep. It's like when your feet goes to sleep, but it's not tingly. And I realized my whole body went numb. I didn't know where my feet were. And I'm looking down. I'm like, okay, they're still there. And I made the step move, and I saw my foot move, and I was like, I'm not getting an 8 count. Where's that 8 count? I need the ref to like step in. And like held on to that dude for dear life. And I ended up like regaining my stuff. But that was the hardest I've ever been hit. And yeah.
What did that make you like? That obviously made you rethink boxing. As a whole. Did you ever want to box out? Like, are you just like in terrible fear when you're holding on to him? Like, oh my God, Mom, help me! Like, what's going on through your head as you're holding on to another man? My fear
is always to get like knocked out unconscious. That was always my fear. I didn't want that to happen.
Do you have a strong chin?
Yeah, but I never wanted to test it. I didn't see any value in that.
You're right.
There's some guys who are like, yeah, I can take punches. I'm like, yeah, that's not a flex. Yeah, I'm trying to remember my grandkids' names.
Wow. I can imagine. I've been socked one time hard as fuck. I was in high school. I was a shit talker. Big surprise, I'm sure.
Yeah, it seems. I don't think you picked this up overnight.
I've been a shit talker my whole life. I can remember. This is one of those instances in your life that's just imprinted on you, and I can remember every detail like it was fucking yesterday. He's a super senior. You know, he's a big. All right, listen, I'm a white guy, so
it comes this whole time? Hey, man.
It comes with more emphasis from when you're like, it was a big black dude. All right, he was a big black super senior, which means he failed senior year and had to repeat senior. We're playing basketball together. I loved basketball. I was talking some shit to him. He's like, all right, come one-on-one, do a layup thing on me, whatever. And so I come up, and I know I'm going to do fucking score on him. I got him all fucking day. I come up, I'm going to fucking sky up over him, and he sticks his front leg out and kicks me. Kicks me in the middle of the air. I'm like, motherfucker. And I threw the ball at him sideways, just as hard as I could. He came up to me. Mind you, a week before this, he beat some dude, put him in a wire jaw. He fucking come. I go, motherfucker. I go, you fucking are soft, bitch. You think you're gonna make it in the NBA one day? Fuck you. He hauls back before I can do or say anything. Just socks me across the mouth as hard as he fucking could. I fucking took it like a fucking champ. I said, all right, and then I walked away.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably best to do.
And then I called my dad. I said, hey, I don't feel good. You need to come take me home. And I did throw up.
That's called a concussion.
Yeah. But I took it, went home, and slept for the rest of the day. Felt like shit. But
that feeling of being punched and like going home and just like having to take it, I don't want to experience that. That's why I don't fight. And it's like, so you don't experience that. You just have to take it to the next level. And I'm not willing to take it to the next level.
I was a freshman. He was a super senior.
Yeah. There's nothing you can do.
Right. And that's why I took it. And just walked away. I was like, all right.
The thing is, like, I love that happened. He just had to hit you once. Like.
What am I going to do?
Yeah. But the thing is, you know what it's like to be punched in the face. That's a lesson.
Yeah.
That's a lifelong lesson. I've been punched in the face. There was this dude named Warren. I was walking in, like, he had a do-rag hanging out his back pocket.
Oh, no.
And I just snatched it. And
it
ripped his do-rag. And he turned around. I'm just holding it in my hand.
Oh, shit.
And he looked at me, turned around, and he just
what happens
punched me in the face. And I was like, okay, that happened. Yeah. And justifiably. And, now I don't touch on other people's stuff.
Yeah.
I learned a lesson.
Especially.
Yeah. Thing is, like, yeah, that was a lesson I learned.
Yeah.
Never grab another do-rag again.
Right.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah. And I try not to start shit with people much bigger than me.
Yeah. Which I feel like that's probably not the first time it's happened.
Or the last.
Yeah.
I got to read your book, and I got to get my ego in check. Cam, this was awesome.
Thank you for having me on again, man.
I appreciate you like being here. It's really cool to get someone like you on my podcast that's willing to come take their time and just sit down with me for a little bit, like that's accomplished as you, that's reached the upper echelon of what a human being can achieve, whether you accept it or not. It's really amazing to have an incredible person like you grace me.
I appreciate you, brother.
Man. I really don't want to fight you. I'm just giving you shit, man. Truce?
Truce.
Yes. Yeah, because you can kick my ass. Yeah. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No. Thanks for having me on. This was cool.
Yeah.
Cam F Awesome. At Cam F Awesome on IG, TikTok, Twitter. And actually, if you have any questions, I'm curious on what you're curious about. So, yeah, reach out, ask a question.
Reach out, and coming soon, the Cam F Awesome Becoming Awesome book will be available on audiobook soon.
Yep.
Bye.
Leave me the fuck alone. Neandertalk, hardest podcast in the world, you stupid ass bitch.